However, there is the ash heap where the dead abyssal bat is been, all except for those that structure of the wings, kind of the desiccated structure of the wings and like the back spine that Aedan took with him. Meanwhile, Odie, I think, is still invisible.
Yeah.
And Belgrakas, were you in this room during the battle? I thought you were.
For like a minute, and then I went up the stairs and went into that other chamber and checked out the other chamber.
Is that this one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. So
checked out
now
the snow globe, detected magic, and all that stuff.
All right. Okay. So now that that has occurred, the abyssal bat has died. What are you guys doing?
Jeez, what were our options last time? We were gonna
go. Well, Belgrakas came back and said, "Hey, there's another room we need to check out."
Where? How do you get
through this portal? It's through this portal. Just do what I do. Everybody's got to get in the picture in this mirror. And he holds the mirror up. And we all have to walk back into the circle with our picture in the mirror.
That's absurd. I'll do it.
Okay.
All right.
So we have to like walk backwards. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You line up a selfie and then step into the circle.
All right. Before I go backwards, though, I do fix my hair. I'm sure it's kind of a mess.
All right.
I have my gold comb, and I comb it and make sure it's all nice and straight.
It's a tight fit, but you all should be able to stuff each other in there.
That's what she said.
Not Belari, though.
All right. Seto, I'm guessing Gale, you guys came back up the stairs.
Yes.
All right. So Belgrakas holds up the mirror as you're all in the circle, and you get just a slight queasiness, and now all of a sudden everybody is looking in the mirror, but they're facing the exact opposite direction, and they're standing in this circle over here. And set those upside down. I guess that makes sense since he looked in the mirror.
And I forget what I saw on this door with my detect magic.
So we're now over here.
That door didn't have any magic emanating from the door, but it looked like it had a fairly
complicated
lock. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. So I think the first thing we should do is check out this door. It doesn't have any magic on it, but it has an intricate lock. And somebody should check to see if it's trapped mechanically.
I'll listen at the door, but Silli can check for the traps.
All right.
You may as well both attempt.
Yeah, I guess let me listen first to see if there's anything on the other side, just in case.
So I take it we're still inside the castle, just a different layer, a different level.
Presumably.
Right.
It's got the same look out the windows, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Right here. I kind of look at the others. I say I don't really hear anything, but I do smell the trace of coppery. That copper scent that comes with the blood. So I think there's something messy waiting on the other side.
All right.
I'll go ahead and try to detect traps.
I did that already.
Oh, you
All right.
did?
So Silly's looking at it while you're listening to it, and Silly, you detect a little pinhole beneath the handle of the latch. So there is definitely a trap there.
So do I need to make an alternate roll to remove that trap that I just found, or does that cover it?
Yeah, because once you find it, you can always attempt to remove it, and that could fail.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to remove it.
All right.
Hey, can I assist him? Like, can I use my? No, never mind.
Orth will not stand in front of the pinhole.
All right, Orth.
Stand over here.
Yeah, neither will Belgrakas.
Oh, Gale's here, it looks like.
Here. Sorry about the delay.
No problem. We just kind of recap.
Okay. I say,
All
be
right.
careful, Silly. I do smell
Silly,
something
try it. I don't
on
see
the
it.
other side there.
Yeah, I got a 42 out of 80.
Okay. All right. So, Silly, you start fiddling around with the lock, and you basically insert your chicken bone into the area where the key goes in and fiddle around, and you find the little structure that holds the needle in place, and you disable it. And the trap is now disabled.
I'm gonna
So you
unlock the
can
door.
pick it with
All right.
there we go.
All right, let's open this up. I say, whoever opens it up, just be aware that there might be something messy on the other side. I
Silly.
smell blood. Boop, boop.
I'm just gonna unlock the door, Warren. I'm not gonna open it.
All right. The door the lock snicks open pretty easily. It's not too much of a complicated lock, but the trap was a little bit complex. So it snicks open with a little bit of a click, and both sides of the door open inward.
I'll push it open with my sword.
All right. The door opens, and it opens with a little bit of a creak. And inside looks to be the quarters or a holding cell for something. And there are splotches of blood on the floor that look like they've kind of been hastily wiped up with like a rag or something, and they litter over some of the straw. There's a couple of broken crates over in the corner and a bowl of some sort on a table. And what looks to be a chamber pot at the foot of the bed that has other odors coming from it.
Mm-hmm. How fresh are those odors? Do we have a sense of that?
Does anybody have diagnostics? They might be able to tell.
Yes.
All right. Alleseto gets a nice nose fill with his long gnomish nose.
No.
After Seto takes a whiff with his diagnostic skill here.
It's
Hopefully
funny
he doesn't
that
whiff his...
it's funny that Al's the one who's inspecting the poop when he's gonna be doing a lot of it today.
And when you smell stuff, man, you're actually taking in the particles. So you're like really like getting in those shit particles right into your lungs.
This is making me want to throw up.
I'll go look at this bowl of food here.
I'm gonna
All
look
right.
at these Trunks.
All right. In the trunks, there is a bunch of detritus, but down in the bottom, you do find a rag that's wrapped around a figurine of a strange, long-necked animal, and it's made out of gold. You could appraise it.
All right.
Is Detect Magic still running?
No.
Praise. Nope.
All right.
What?
Oh, so
Is it an animal that I would have heard of? Like, when you say long neck, does it have like fur? Does it have like? Is it a reptilian creature?
You probably wouldn't have heard of this creature.
Could I make an animal lore?
Yeah, you could do that.
I could do that as well.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Oh, there you
Oh, Orth passed the check.
go. I'm like, does anybody know what kind of animal this is?
Let me see it.
I hand it over.
So I was checking out the blood splat. This is like a few weeks old.
No, the
Smell.
the chamber pot.
Oh, that's a few weeks old.
I think.
But time is weird here.
Right.
So
So what kind of animal is it?
I think it's I think they call it a giraffe. They live in more temperate regions.
Okay.
Draft figurine. Question mark value.
175 gold pieces.
What's that?
175 gold pieces.
We don't know if it's magical. Right?
Or is that such a thing, a centaur giraffe? Are you just fucking with me?
We already
I
have.
hope. Okay, I got you.
We have another brass. We have another brass statue of a horse and one of a giraffe from before.
Oh, maybe it's like a set.
Are they the same?
The other one is brass and not as finely detailed as this one.
Okay.
It's you know how you've seen those sculptures that are like they're kind of they're not really featured, they're kind of an abstract sculpture. Okay. Yeah. It's about the size of maybe Silli's fist if he stuck his finger up.
Boing.
But there's some claw marks in the wall over by where you are, Orth, and on the back side of this door, Belgrakas, you can see that there is the remnants of some sort of warding runic spell, but it looks like the runes were broken somehow.
Could I do some sort of proficiency?
Yeah, you could do spellcraft.
All right. Let me try that.
What kind of claw marks are those?
Or
Pass an animal lore check.
all right. Belgrakas.
These claw marks are unnatural.
Maybe
I
this
mean,
was the
what kind of
holding cell
claw-
for the creature.
Yeah, would it make sense that thing that just got killed would make claw marks like that?
No, for the creature that's causing the plagues.
This room doesn't seem to be like, just look at this room. This doesn't seem to be the room of a typical monster.
No.
Those monsters wouldn't need a bed.
He could
But maybe
shapeshift.
some kind of
Didn't they say he could shapeshift?
Yeah,
yeah,
they
kind of
did.
rare creature maybe.
What are you thinking, Gale?
I'm not really sure what to think. So these claw marks are in stone, right?
Yes.
Is there any way to? I'm not. I'm just
Wait a
not
minute.
sure
When you
what.
say claw, what? Here's the thing: claw marks. How many claws are on? Like, is it like something with like 5 fingers, 3 fingers?
The
What?
most claw marks you see in any one stretch of stone is 4 in a row.
4. So it could be somebody with
Something.
actual like hands.
Could be, yeah. Although most of them look like they're 3, and those are a little deeper. The 4th one seems to be a bit shallower.
I think this was the cell for the plague monster.
I think so too.
Wait a minute. Does anybody have? If anybody was tracking, is there any, like, let's say, bits of like any indication, like fur, maybe piece of skin, any other
Hunting.
indication of what this is?
Other than those marks and the blood on the ground, the blood, as Seto was looking at it, Seto, it seems to be human blood.
Hmm.
Any sign of well, let me see. You probably sent me a message.
Hey, I'm gonna look at the poop. I'm gonna like hold my nose, but look at the poop. Do I see any like? Does it look like human poop, or is it like animal?
Any
both?
sense, real quickly, Warrant, that the rune of I said this was a rune of warning. I think this is what held the creature. And it looks like the creature was able to break free, which makes sense if this is human blood. He must have killed the wizard, as I had suspected.
Dude,
But I suppose it's possible the wizard could have escaped, maybe through a portal. So Belgrakas is gonna look to see if there's any evidence that could have happened.
Yeah. Hey guys, this poop is green and sandy.
Hey, Warrant, can I make that check?
All right.
Would it do anything?
Let's see here. Yes. Let's see. We'll shoot that. Billy, did you roll that already?
No, I didn't roll it. I just sent you the.
Oh yeah, you could do that here.
Okay.
Orth, you're thinking through all of the animals that you've ever tracked and ranged throughout or read about, and it doesn't seem like anything that you've ever encountered. And Silli, the
Look at look at the star
What star?
over here.
What about it?
I see a claw mark out of the wisps every now and then, like when they flicker, you can see. Look right there, right now. There's a claw mark.
yeah, I'll show you where it is here. Right on the edge there. Just a hint of a claw mark right there.
Do you think if he disturbed this circle, he could have done something to it?
Can we pass over this circle? You're talking about this circle, right?
Yeah.
I mean, have we been walking over this circle with no problem,
Yes.
or is it?
Well, I don't know if you have been, because there's two kind of scorched marks with little wisps of flame coming out of them.
Maybe they were apprentices who didn't quite make it? I don't know.
I'm gonna go over to the pile. I'm gonna just take out my my dagger and just kind of root around in the ashes to see if there's anything recognizable, like a piece of cloth, a bone.
Yeah, Gale
anything
or
other
Seto, is there anything you can do, Gale or Seto, to determine what these ashes were when they were alive?
I could use diagnostics again. I could check to see if this is like this disintegrated or burnt to a crisp body.
Hey, guys,
Maybe try a healing check?
Hold up, guys. Notice the fire. It's not hot. Like, the flames aren't hot. And the ash is really greasy.
Yeah.
I thought Belgrakas.
Let's see.
What type of spell would produce a flame but not heat?
An illusion. That's more.
Smyddwack!
Smyddwack's area.
Will we ever get to see him again?
I'm fairly certain this was a summoning circle for extraplanar creatures. This is where our creature came through, I think.
But didn't we step through this to get here?
No, we stepped through the smaller one.
Oh, this one. Oh, okay. All right.
Are these like lit? Are these like lit candles?
They are ever burning sconces, so they've got little lights in them that are on and casting, and they look like they're mounted in the star points themselves.
Can you like reach in and actually grab the candle out of it, or is it just a continual light thing?
It's a continual light thing, but it's in the shape of flame.
Okay.
Would detect magic tell us anything?
Belgrakas, he detected a bit of magic. There wasn't, other than these candles, there wasn't any magic emanating from this circle itself.
These flames.
There was magic over here, and then there was kind of like a strange stone monolith tablet thing against the wall in here.
Maybe the big circle
Okay.
doesn't emanate magic anymore because the circle's broken.
Is there any indication that this circle is damaged somehow?
The claw.
Like, is there?
Yes,
Oh,
he was able to break through the circle with his claw. The mage didn't have enough will to hold him, clearly. Amateur. So he foolishly summoned a creature he could not control. And now I suspect he paid the consequence for that.
But if this is the creature that may have cast the plague, then it still did his will.
Unless that wasn't his will.
May not have been as well, right?
I suspect
That'd be
that
pretty
this
random
wizard...
to cast a random plague there, though, if that wasn't the case.
Yes, there might have been some other purpose to this creature.
Well,
Clearly,
here's the problem, guys. Here's the problem. If the wizard wasn't the source of the plague, then that means he's not going to. He's more than likely not going to have any even written down somewhere. So
Didn't we
we're kind of
establish that the wizard isn't the source of the plague? That the creature is the source of the plague?
well,
Yeah, the
but
creature
he
is the
could've-
source
but
of the plague.
Yeah, but still, if it wasn't the wizard's intent for the creature to do a plague, like there was no plan for the do you know what I'm saying? In other words,
Yes,
No,
Belari.
no.
I suspect that the wizard had no intention of setting a plague in Wick. I suspect that as soon and if he did, the creature certainly would not have followed his wishes after being so angry with him for summoning him to this place, breaking through the circle and murdering the guy. That he would then say, "Yeah, I'm going to go do that guy's will because I just feel like it." I think this creature has his own motivation, and we need to find that out. We need to find this creature.
so instead of so what we need to do is we need to find something to track this demon. We need to find some way to do that.
If we can find some piece of this creature, a claw perhaps that may have gotten damaged in making these scratch marks, or perhaps the wizard was able to take some. Wait, you found its poop.
Well, I mean that's what I'm saying. It's like I was pointing out that it was like kind of a sandy. It's green and sandy.
We should be able to. I should be able to scry it with the poop.
Hey guys, did you figure out what these symbols said over here?
I'll go check it out.
It says raised upon this rocky plate takes true power to Tower Gate. Abyss-sourced rock pulled gloriously forth. Offer thine gem of significant worth. To him who shalt be named at dawn, Tower Gate shall rent forthwith. Ask ye not more than 80 score furlong, lest his wrath gate tower to abyss.
Oh, that's not good.
Can we get that in? Is there a text
Writing?
in writing somewhere? Yeah. Is there a way to copy?
I was just saying, I think I forgot already half of it.
Raising true power to Tower Gate.
That's carved right into that solid. It's almost like a miniature obelisk, but it's kind of square and boxy. Orth.
Where is the obelisk?
It's not really an obelisk. It's just almost like a stone edifice. It's almost the size of a desk.
Okay.
So could this be a creature of the abyss then?
Belgrakas, do you have a
Oh, it must.
piece of parchment?
I do. I write it down.
I just grabbed the parchment and put it over it and just use some coal and mark it on
All right.
paper.
You can make a rubbing of it, sure.
Yeah.
But Orth,
Meanwhile,
it's a strange symbology, Orth. It looks, well, you can't really tell what language this is, Belgrakas. You look at it and it's like, it looks like it's almost supposed to mimic Abyssal, but it's not quite got the right context, and it looks to be really ancient.
yes,
language.
This is probably the language of the plane between hell and the abyss, because this creature came from that plane.
So what's between hell and the abyss?
Hades. And I think this creature may be from there.
Is that also where like Vaprak and they rule
Religion check, guys.
come from?
Can the priests do some religion checks?
Hey, Belgrakas. Pass.
Yes.
I'm not
Gale.
entirely sure about that, but this stone was made from the tower itself. It's not like it was something made or brought in.
This
like,
is about the tower.
Possibly stone shaped?
Which means the entire tower is is sourced from rock pulled from the abyss.
Right. Abyss-sourced rock pulled gloriously forth.
No wonder
Oprodine
this tower
gem
is
of-
weird. I hate wizards. No offense, wizard.
None
Oprodine
taken.
gem of significant worth. To him who shall be named at dawn, tower gate shall rent forthwith.
You know, I think this actually might be the cornerstone.
What's a
I
furlong?
don't know why it's up here.
Is that a measure?
Yeah, something.
80 score furlong. That's 160. What's a
1/8 of
furlong?
a mile.
A furlong is 1/8 of a mile.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is this maybe this has
So
something to do with
10
the way the
miles.
tower? Maybe this has something to do with how the tower moves.
So 10 times 20, 200
You know,
miles.
that could be. That's the distance that it can move, and then you have to do
Yeah.
a powerful and expensive gem to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, this does seem, as I said, this seems like it's the cornerstone of the tower. I'm not entirely
I don't know
sure, but it kind of seems like it.
Well, we don't.
Um,
We're not here to move the tower, right?
No, not necessarily.
But how we gotta
Although
get back?
I am aware that some abyssal beings do come forth at dawn.
We are in another place right now, though, right? Don't we want to try to get the tower back to where we came from?
You know what? We had to come through this gate inverted. I wonder if we are perhaps in the abyss.
I'm gonna look out the window. Is there a window?
Yes.
Right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna look out. See what does it look at like now?
It's kind of that reddish cast to outside. Below you is, if you've ever been up in an airplane where you're looking down and it's just clouds between
Mhm.
you and the land. It's
Mhm.
like that, but it's like it's a perpetual dawn where the reddishness of the sun is just peeking over the clouds, making everything kind of that reddish hue in every direction.
You know, the base of the tower, maybe it's always in that city or something like that, but the rest of the tower kind of plane shift, if that makes sense.
Could be.
Like maybe that reddish hue, which is different, is one of the different planes.
So the tower exists on two planes at once.
Here's a question then. When we first came in the balcony, what was the sky like? And when did the sky turn red?
The sky started turning red as we went into the fog, didn't it?
I think
Yeah.
it was when. Was it? I don't remember. You know, when I was running up the side of the tower, I don't remember the sky being red. But
Once,
Yeah, I don't remember.
once we came inside, I remember it. I remember seeing it as red.
yeah, that's when I first
Out of
noticed
character,
it.
I was busy at the time, so I didn't really see it too much. But after we got up here, it became red. As we were coming up, it was just a thick fog.
Yeah.
Silli was looking out these windows, and this is when he discovered that the sky was red.
As
Yeah.
a party, we should know that before we opened the doors and came in, was the sky red or was it not?
When you guys enter the tower the very first time?
Yeah.
No, it's only when you've been up looking out these windows.
Okay.
But you guys ran up the tower with Silli's shoes. They were able to push off the magic just enough to get him up the tower.
Then we climbed up the ropes and the whole
Yeah.
Lauren, I'm gonna go back to the balcony. Is it possible for me to go back to the balcony without the party?
From here, you'll need Belgrakas' help.
Belgrakas? I want to go look outside. I want to check to see if the rope is there, and maybe just.
So I know you and
You
Orth
mean-
came through that tunnel in the Mage's Guild Hall, right?
No, Gale did.
I did not. No.
Oh, you did not. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
that
help
was
you through.
Gale and shoot.
But this last time that we came to the tower, we all came in that way.
Right.
All right.
I'll help you through, Silli.
All right,
Belgrakas.
Silly, you guys land back in the balcony area of the tower, right?
Yeah, is the rope still tied off to one of these things over here?
Yes, it is.
All right, I'm gonna go down the rope and see if we can leave.
All right. Silly, make a climbing. Oh, wait. It's like a 99%. Okay. I guess you can just do it. All right. So, Silly, you start climbing down the rope. And as you start descending, all of a sudden, the vision in front of you as you get down a ways goes pitch black. And you're in that weird black, inky blackness again.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel your way down the rope. And eventually, you come down with your feet on the ground, and you can feel the clip clop of your feet on the surface of the earth, and the smells are all the same.
And like the bodies of people are still around.
Yeah, the ones that you guys killed.
Yeah.
It takes you a while, but you can feel around and find them because it's magical darkness.
Okay, so I'm gonna yell up to Belgrakas. Yeah, I think I think we're in the city.
Okay, that's good. But I think when we transport through this portal, we are no longer in the city. The sky is red outside, and that's not the case here.
All right. What's our goal here? Our goal here is to figure out how to stop the plague.
Yes.
How do we move forward with that?
We need to find something that this wizard wrote, perhaps, and we need to find this creature.
Gale, can you?
Those two things.
I'm sorry.
We've turned over every chest and drawer in this place.
What were you saying, Alleseto?
So this whole tower, we all understand this whole tower can move, right?
Seems like it.
And from what I can recall, it appeared when the guild all was destroyed or conquered. Right? That's when it first appeared in Rookroost.
Were those things... Was that a causal relationship?
Yeah.
When this wizard came, he destroyed the Mages Guild.
Ah.
So you want to steal the tower, Seto?
It sounds like it would be too expensive to power.
Well, it'd be too expensive to move.
Yeah.
A lot. But we could move it one time and have an instant tower.
Sure.
What would be the point?
It's we're
Well,
stealing it.
It's got a mostly intact summoning circle. I can fix the summoning circle.
Well, see, actually, that's what I was gonna ask about. Is there any possibility? I mean, this is a demon from another plane, right? So, would there be any possibility for one of you wizardly types to resummon that very specific demon?
If I knew its true name, I could, but I do not know its true name.
True
This
name.
is why I want to find something that the wizard wrote.
So you're saying that he might have the true name written down somewhere?
He may.
Okay.
Gale, can you maybe bring the dead wizard back to life? No.
Is the body here?
And
We don't even know if he's really dead, though. We have no idea if he's actually dead. in those.
I would need a piece of the wizard in order to do something like that, but I'm not quite sure if I'm powerful enough to bring him back without a full body.
Or is there,
Or at least
is this
most of the
something,
body.
is this something you could ask your sword if the wizard is alive?
I could ask the sword. I just pointing out that it's about 200 miles back to Greyhawk from this city, roughly.
Now that's perfect. We could set this tower up right across from the Tower of Zagig and have our own fortification to take on the troll.
Aha, yes. Let me,
Since it can't be, seems to be indestructible.
what should I ask specifically?
Is Aedan alive and on this plane?
Is Eredan?
Yeah,
I
however
thought
you
it
spell
was
it.
Erudian. Erudean.
How do we
What if
spell it,
there's a
Warren?
different one?
I thought it was Aedan.
How do we spell it,
What
Warren?
if I ask, is the wizard of this tower? Oh,
Yeah, it's
No.
Aedan.
E-
It's or Aedan. Aedan. Aedan.
Aedan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, Aedan.
is Aedan alive and on this plane?
What if there's a different Iridian?
Is that a good question?
Yeah.
Is Aedan of this tower the wizard of this tower? It's not quite like a wish, but I want to be specific. Alive and on this plane. Or I could ask, where is he? That might be more helpful.
Actually, don't say this plane. Say on the prime material plane, just in case we're in hell or Hades.
Or should I ask, where is he?
Yeah.
Is that a better?
Well, yeah. You may not get a precise location, but I suppose that's not as
No,
important.
it's going to be a vague answer either way.
Orth will have
I'd say,
to
where is he?
enunciate his question.
I'm working on it.
Try to make it a yes or
What's-
no.
what-
I like the alive
Yeah.
question. You know.
What spell are you using?
I'm using my sword,
Oh,
which has a power to glean information from somewhere. We don't really know, but it
too
seems to
bad.
be good information so far.
Too bad it's not like the Sword of Omens. Sword of Omens, give me sight beyond sight.
It can be if you rename it.
How about if I ask, where can we find Iridian? I can only ask one. I can't ask two-part questions, right? I can ask where to find him, or I could ask if he's alive. If I ask where to find him, he may be dead, and we find his dead body.
Or
That would also be helpful.
Or if that pile of ashes over there is him.
Right. I'm gonna. That's the question I'm gonna ask. Where can we find Iridian?
All right. Your sword sends you that unerring sound in your and the sword responds back to you.
In his lab.
This has to do with the snow globe in the other room. Perhaps.
You think he's in that snow globe? Or is this whole place his lab?
In
I
that
don't know.
snow
This doesn't
globe,
seem like a lab. This just seems like a place for different things.
yeah, Warrant, in the snow globe, I saw a lab, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
They're more. So there could be more levels to this tower, and there's a lab in one of these in this tower.
Right.
Go sit down at that table and put your hands on that globe and look into it, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I'm not comfortable doing that. But...
I'll do it.
All right. Seto
Of
and
course.
Silli are over there. You guys can both fit in the chair. And as you look closely at this strange crystalline globe, you can see what looks to be an outline of a tower, but the tower is looks like it's in a cityscape above the plains of Rook Roost. And you see you're looking in what looks to be one of the windows, and you can see what looks to be right behind you. You can see what looks to be a bookcase with like a little lockbox on it. And then behind you is another bookcase with some open books, and there's a flickering candle on a desk. And as you look away, then it shrinks back, and now it's just kind of a swirling, glowing crystalline globe.
Warren, I want to look back in. As I look in, I want to, like, remember that old Kids in the Hole squishing your head? Like, the way the perspective is, if I can try to grab the box with my perspective and pull it out of that plane.
All right. Make that check, Silly.
Which one?
The observational. Your
Okay.
races. All right. Let's see here. All right, you guys see Silly looking. He's looking at it all cross-eyed and warbled, and it's very. It feels like it's a very deja vu kind of feeling when you're doing that, Silly. However, what about Gale here and Seto?
Did the bookcase look familiar? Like
Yeah, I can go take a look.
All right, you see Silly looking into it, and Gale, you look in, and it's to you it looks like you're just looking through a crystal, and the very first thing you see, of course, when you walk up to it in this bluish is your reflection, and then you kind of have to get close to like you do to a window when you're looking outside, so the reflection isn't causing you to be unable to see, and then you can peer in, and you see that it's almost like you're looking through a crystalline window of some sort, and you look around and you see a bookshelf with a little lockbox on it to your right, and to your left you see a desk with a lit candle and a couple of scattered books and writings, and off in the corner it looks like you see a door handle. To you it looks like you're looking through like a submarine porthole or something.
Interesting. Well, I see a door handle, so we should be able to get to it that way. I don't know what this thing does. Can I think about opening the door handle?
All right.
I'm grasping at straws.
Maybe you have to touch the globe.
Hey, are we saying that this globe is some sort of like doorway to that place? Is that where we're going with this?
Mm-hmm.
See, I think we are in the inverted tower in the lower planes, and the wizard is back in the prime material plane in his tower that we haven't explored yet, perhaps.
Warren, could I try to tumble into that room by just looking at it?
What if Belgrakas can teleport there just by looking at it? Using his spell. Do you think
I'd have to
Belgrakas
study it. I'd have to study it for quite some time, but if we are in hell, that teleport will not work. We would need a plane shift. Or if you're in the abyss or anywhere outside of the prime material plane. Is there a way to determine what plane we are on?
Wait till tomorrow and ask the sword. But we're quickly running out of time, so
Warren, does that doorknob have a lock?
Which one? The one that Gale saw?
Yeah.
He wasn't able to see detail enough to see if it had a lock on it or not. You know what, though? Gale was able to tell...
The dimensions of that room are similar to this one, so it looks like maybe through this thing is how he traversed the floors.
Have we? And we've already tried touching it and like pushing our hand through, right?
Yep, even Silli tried tumbling, and he was basically doing a handstand on top of it and spinning around on a finger and looking real cool, but not going anywhere. Belgrakas was eyeing him boredly.
I'm so
He
fucking
was
cool.
a wizard, or is the wizard, so it must be a magical thing.
So if the
Thought something
wizard,
so easy.
well, if the wizard's on the other side, if he's in the so-called other tower and he uses the crystal to travel back and forth, what if we somehow get his attention? So he'll want to come on this side.
I've got an idea. So we're looking at the tower from a perspective from outside, right, Warren? And when we're looking into that crystal. So what if Silly goes outside the tower? You guys are looking at the crystal in real time. I start running around outside the tower until you see me. You tell me hot or cold, and I'll move north or south, or you tell me north or south, and I'll move in the direction you tell me to where you guys are going to guide me to that window.
How are you getting out of the tower?
Well, Belgrakas will put me over here by the balcony, and I'll
How's
dance
Belgrakas getting you to that balcony?
with the mirror, right?
Oh, okay.
Go back to the portal.
But wait a minute, we can't. I don't think we can even see the ground. So because of the clouds. So I don't.
You
think
guys are looking at the tower. We're outside of the darkness, right? We're
we need a
on
way
the
to
tower.
talk to you. Can we scry, or is there a communication spell?
Oh,
Some
can you guys
sort?
just yell out the window?
Okay, I'll yell out the window. Do you yell back?
Do I hear?
All right, so Belgrakas takes Silly over to the little star, and you guys stand in the star, and he holds up the mirror, getting you all in it and with the star itself, and you feel kind of this weird thing to your stomach, and then you're facing the exact opposite direction on this star. And you and Belgrakas, Silli and Belgrakas, are now in this area of the tower. And Odie.
Oh. Do I hear them yelling? Or?
All right, so Silli, you get down on the ground. All right, Orth, you're yelling. Orth, it's very strange as you're yelling out as you move your head into the window and start yelling out of the window. It's like yelling into a infernal hurricane. Your voice, you can't even hear your voice as you're yelling. Silli, it's just a silent, calm night or day. You're thinking it's probably daytime because it's warm, than it is at night.
It's the same with all these windows.
Yes. You run back and forth and are yelling out the windows.
Maybe put something out the window, like a piece of cloth, and wave it so I can see. I don't know if that's metagaming.
Is there yeah, does that even would that even occur to me if I can't?
It's very strange. And listening out the window, Orth, it's silent. But when you yell, it's like you're yelling into a furnace hurricane, just loud whipping wind, even though it's silent.
I'm going to grab the sheet off this bed or the blanket off this bed and tie something heavy to the end.
All right.
And hang that out the window.
All right. As you hang it out the window, the minute you put the sheet out, it whips wildly and whips off to the side and incinerates.
Oh. So don't stick any body parts out there. I announced that to everybody. Don't stick anything out the window you want to survive. Good thing I didn't stick my sword out. Okay.
Do you want to put your hand out there, Orth?
No.
See if you can wave to Silli.
Orth is a logical person who reacts to the evidence that's been put in front of him, so he would not.
You could put your helm out there.
I wouldn't want the helm to be destroyed either.
Oh, all right. Well,
yeah.
Put a
Silly's
stick.
gonna come back. He doesn't see them. He doesn't hear them. He's just gonna go back. All right, that didn't work.
Hey, Warren. I'm gonna. Belari's gonna go over to the crystal, and she's gonna like look in it, and she's just gonna start like yelling into the crystal.
All
hey,
right.
you! Anybody on the other side? And I'll start like knocking on the
All right.
crystal.
Belari,
hey, you!
You're pounding on this thing. Seto's looking at you forlornly. Gale is looking at you dourly.
Do I see any reaction in the crystal, like yelling? Do I see any movement or any type of reaction at all?
Nope. It looks like a silent, perhaps a study or reading room of some sort.
Do I see any like movement? Like, for instance, is it just like a picture, or is it like do I see, let's say, the fluttering of a drape or anything?
The light source flickers a little bit.
Okay, so
all right, Gale's trying to reach forward and pull himself into the orb, and he's got his face smashed up against it.
Belgrakas, I think
Yes.
if you wouldn't mind taking some time and think it over, I think maybe teleporting into that room just by looking at it. If you want to give it some time and mull it over, I think that's the only way we're going to get into that room.
Right,
have we determined whether this is hell?
Why don't we try to use your mirror trick? on the orb.
If I try on the orb, yes, that's better. Let's look through the mirror with the orb behind me.
All right. Belgrakas, you hold the mirror up, and as you do so, the mirror starts to widen, and now you look on the other side of the mirror, and it's like you're looking into this room in a full-size mirror.
Can you step through that?
I'm going to try to walk through the mirror.
All right.
That a boy.
Belgrakas steps
Somebody
through.
hold the mirror.
Belgrakas steps through the mirror
I'll hold it.
I'm going
and
with him.
comes out of a strange full-size globe right here on the map. And he can see behind him through this globe is an image almost mirrored of what he saw before of the other characters standing there. The mirror where Belgrakas had put it, it's suspended. It doesn't need any holding.
Can I enter it as well?
Ah, okay, good.
Warren?
Can you hear us? We speak at them. Can you hear us?
Can I hear them?
You cannot hear them, Belgrakas, when you're fully in this room, no. But you can see them.
Okay.
Can only one person enter, Warren?
No,
All right, I'm
Orth
gonna enter.
will
All right.
yeah, I'll be right behind you.
Belari's going to enter as well.
All right. Now you guys all get into the room here.
I'm gonna look for traps, Warren.
All right. This room it's kind of heavy with some complex scents. You smell the faint smell of animals, chemicals. There's that little bit of coppery blood smell. There's a hint of decay, sweet, sharp, and constantly changing. There's also what looks to be a writing table with a bookcase and some books. And Silli, these doors do not appear to be locked or trapped in this room here.
Where are we? Let's see.
Little bit south.
Is there a
That's,
way? What did we step out of? We stepped out of this globe.
Yep, right there.
And if
Is that?
We're over
step
here.
back through the globe,
So
Yes.
we're in this small little room.
Yeah.
I'm going to peruse what's on these desks, these books. What?
All right. You find a interesting in this room. You find let's see. Yes, you'd be able to read this. It looks like he was writing. So most of these books and pieces, there's a strong box near Alleseto. And there is looks like he was writing some parchment on this desk. The rest of these books are books you've seen before, Belgrakas. They're just the common library books that you'd find in a wizard study, like herbs of the wizards use, reagents. A lot of it's basically spell component descriptions, like where to get a bit of bat guano and that kind of stuff. But there is an interesting parchment on his desk that looks like it was written by human hand.
is it magic? Gale, magic.
Gale, it's not magical.
We're just looking around and seeing if there's anything magic in here.
Oh, let's read this.
Is the strongbox locked, Warren?
Yes, the strongbox is locked.
But it's not trapped.
Not for long.
Did you detect trap on the strongbox?
No, I'll do that now.
All right.
Are they traps I can disarm? Or
Let's see here. Silly.
What does this mean, Belgrakas?
What?
This text.
I look at the text.
Is this something that other people can read?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody can read it. Belgrakas actually is the one that found it and was reading it, but I just showed it to all you guys so you can.
How can I make
Can you
it
not read the
bigger?
text?
just click the
You
image.
guys will see if you look up in Bandit Kingdom, you should see it show up there under books and errata.
Okay,
Can you
but
see
the
that in your journal?
hexademon?
Yes. Hexameron.
Hexameron is the most unique sort of containment upon completion.
Right.
Hexameron. Okay. 4 or 6 spells introduce and yet repels the prisoners themselves. The anti-magical order is not a negated subject.
Okay.
Good.
You guys might want to go into a safe place while I try to mess with this.
Orth
Hold
is
on
going
one
to try
second.
and go back through the globe to the other side to see if
What are you doing, Silly?
I'm going to try to disarm the traps on this strongbox, and that they're very intricate and tough. So that just means that something bad could happen if I fuck up.
Okay, I'll take this text on the hexameron back through the gate.
All right. Who's going back through the gate?
Orth,
Orth
I
is
think.
walking through. Yep.
All right. All right. Once who all is
Belari's going to the gate. Belari's going to the gate.
all right. So who's in the room with Silly?
I put Odie on Orth's shoulder. Take my
Okay.
place.
All right.
So-
Odie's like, I want to stay with you, Silly.
Gale and Seto.
If something happens, you could die.
Oh, I don't want to die, but what if you die?
I won't die. They'll save
I'm
me.
back.
All right.
Seto
I'll
and Gale
go
have
with
powerful
big
gods.
strong man. Belgrakas, the moment you step through the portal, the mirror goes dark and returns to your grasp the way you were holding it when you first viewed into it. So if whoever came through with you, meanwhile, Silly, there's just a crystalline globe there that looks similar to the globe that was on the table, only it's much larger.
Mm.
So hopefully that's not a
Belgrakas.
once a day thing.
I hope not.
Did everybody make? Oh, Seto and Gale are still in with Silly. All right, Silly.
Okay. Here we go.
Can you buff them? Oh, sorry. I'm not there.
Nope.
That is a failure, Silly.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody make a saving throw versus spell.
Do Seto's rocks still apply? Yeah. Or is that
That depends on how much time had passed since the previous
Oh,
night.
wait. Even the people that went back through the gate.
No.
All right, Gale, you saved.
Well, even everybody? Like everybody?
No.
Back?
No, I think only Seto, Gale, and Silly are in this room here.
Okay.
Do the rocks still apply, Warren?
We look at the
How long has it been? How long did your rocks last for, Alleseto?
This set was going to last 20 hours.
Oh yeah, you'd still have them then.
Okay, cool. Here we go.
I'm gonna look in the snow globe and see if I can see what was going on.
All right. All of a sudden, there is a like a kind of a dimming in the room, Silly, as you make a. You're trying to hold one area of the spring with your pinky. Your other pinky's holding this other spring back that looks like it's around a dart. You've got your hoof on there, holding this other like catch on the thing, and you make just the smallest error, and there is that sound you get when you know you've just effed up, and all of a sudden, all of the metallic parts of the strongbox splinter into basically tiny little shards and pelt you all with basically needles. Save damage for half.
It's like a claymore.
Did I save? I don't.
Looks like you all saved. So if you saved, you take 7. If you did not save, you take 15.
Okay.
What did you do?
I fucked up. This is a very tough box. I'm sorry. You guys want to take a little rest before we continue, or should I try again?
Well, once it's gone off, is it now also disarmed?
There's still a couple other traps on this thing.
How many more, Warrant?
Now there's that, Silly, because So Silly has a bunch of metallic needles in his skin. Gale kind of brushes them off, looking at him. He's not amused.
Okay.
Very much so.
Yes, Gale, there is a door. It is unlocked.
I'm opening it.
All right. All right, Silly, you managed to relieve the rest of the traps, and as you do so, the box opens, and inside is a very gaudy-looking piece of red crystal. And the piece of crystal is about 6 inches long. It's kind of rough and looks like it could be valuable. Zeto, you and Gale step into what looks to be a foyer of some sort. There's a doorway off the foyer to the right, and there is a small chest under a bench off in the corner. And then there's just a little knick-knack table.
Hey, Silly, when you're done in there, I found another one out here.
Hey, Gale, Seto, you guys know about rocks. I found a rock. I unlocked the box.
What is Belgrakas and the rest of you all doing?
Let's try and
So we can't hear or see them, right now?
You can see them through but they look like they're
Crystal.
reversed. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
But they look healthy and okay now.
Yeah.
I think this writing here might be the key to what's around that troll generator. I think it's a hexameron.
Oh, that could be.
I'm going to need to study this a little bit more. It's very complicated.
How do we get? Can we get back in?
Yeah, we can try. I pull the mirror up again and see if there's a way to if I can, do the same thing I did last time.
All right. Once you pull the mirror up, it's almost as if it stretches and your perspective kind of changes. But yes, the mirror is much larger in relation to you, and you can step through it again. There's little slivers of metal embedded into the table and the books and the bookshelves. Silly's holding what looks to be a oblong crystal of red.
I found the rock.
Belari steps through as well.
All right. Belari, you see Silly holding his rock.
Is that rock magical?
Oh, man.
I don't know.
Still have a detect magic going? Gale had a detect magic going.
Yes, I do. I
No,
can now use it at will.
this rock is not magical.
I'm gonna try an appraisal.
All right. Go ahead, Belari.
All right. What do I think of it? Did you guys notice the fancy script that's etched inside?
Oh,
Yeah, I point out the script, and I say I can't read it.
I can.
There you go.
Molly Deus.
What is it? What does it say?
Molly Deus.
It is Molly Deus.
Is that what is
Could that
Molly?
be the creature's name?
Oh.
No, it's a type of creature. Well, I'll roll, but let me roll. Knowledge. There we go.
Out of curiosity, could knowledge mining tell me what type of rock that is?
Yes, you could tell Gale. All right, Belgrakas. Let me copy this from here to here because you made that. So Belgrakas, you have seen this before, and if Orth rotates the gem around, it sort of makes a like one of those pieces of where the perspective changes, where it almost if you've looked at I forget what those things are called. There's like those hologram things where you move them back and forth and the image
Oh, yeah.
changes.
We saw a really cool one at the Western store yesterday. It was like a horse made of fire.
Yeah, so that's the same thing that Belgrakas. You've heard of Molly Deus, so you can explain to them Belgrakas.
Okay.
I think it's like a
This is-
pictomonograph. I think that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a type of daemon, isn't it?
It's actually a type of Tanari.
Okay. It's a type of demon.
Did that hexagon script say something about Tanari? It referenced Tanari, right?
It did.
Yep.
Okay. Keep that in mind.
So, do these creatures have the ability to spread sickness and plague?
So should a Tanari or Beatsu be thus
yes.
gated?
Exactly. To be gated to should they be gated to affect the hexameron? Be wary of the anti-magical effect of the completed hexameron. An Archon or Azamar may indeed affect a wholly different sort of anti-magic effect. So
maybe we should see about summoning an Archon or an Asamar?
perhaps
Those are holy creatures, aren't they?
they are. We don't know what was done in the tower, the back in Greyhawk. That's the thing.
All right. Well, there's more doors to explore.
Yeah.
Is the hexa
Hold
thing,
on,
is that the star?
1 second, Orth, because as you rotate it back and forth, it shifts from Molly Deus to this.
Is that its name?
Gale.
Yes.
Uh,
There's another word here.
Maybe it's like the type of creature and the name of the creature? Like a filing card on a gem?
Could be.
This rock doesn't seem to be
This could be its
natural.
true name. This could be its true name. And can I do a spellcraft? Isn't there the player believes there's a spell that requires this. Let's see if the PC knows that. Second. Oh, no. Okay.
all right. So yes. What did you guys want to keep doing? Belgrakas, you're thinking, but your brain's a little addled, probably from going through the mirror so many times.
Yeah.
But yes, so Gale looks at it. He says it's a strange material, not found that he's ever seen before. But
I added it to the player holding.
all right. But yes, every time you rotate the gem, it fluctuates that word to another one, and the colors like invert. So, and every time Orth says it, he sounds like it's almost like it changes his voice as he tries to repeat it through the helm of comprehend languages. All right, Seto lays his hands on Silli, and Silli feels a little better.
Oh, thank you.
All right, let's explore.
Belari, you're looking, you see a box under a bench and a door to the east, it looks like.
The bench right here.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go over here and look at the box. What is it? Does it look like a normal box, a magical box?
This box, it is locked and it has a trap on it. And
Wow.
this
I'll
trap is
stand back here.
another complex trap.
So does it look like another needle trap?
You
Yeah.
can't really tell what type of trap this one is. There's a number of compartments and chambers that looks like it's very intricate.
Silly! Oh, silly!
And it's
Wow,
really
son.
hard to manipulate because it's attached to the ground somehow.
Can I just examine it to see what type of trap it is first? One.
Yes, you can.
I step in the other room.
Gale offers a couple prayers to his god for himself. There we go.
Okay, this one's tough again. So, Seto, you might want to go in the other room. If you hear me yell "ouch," that means I hurt. I'm hurt.
Odie's like, you want me to stay in here with you, boss?
No, you stay with them.
All right. I like Orth. Okay. All right. Silli manipulates around. He's so close, but you are holding it, Silli. You're sitting on the ground facing it, and you move it just enough, and it tilts forward towards you a little bit, and you hear a mechanism unlatch, and the rest of you all hear a colossal crash. Silli, do you have tumbling?
I do.
Okay, you can make tumbling and to see if you can get out of the way as the entire stone ceiling collapses.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Oh.
all right, Silly, you managed to get away with just, this damage. So I'll show you what you were going to take. This is what you were going to take.
Oh, shit.
But since you were able to basically tumble away and nestle yourself in the door jamb right here, right before the stones all collapse down on you, you only take less than half, as it basically lands right on your foot as you dive through the hall. God, I rolled good on that one. Jeez.
I take 20 points? Okay. Ow!
Wow.
We're gonna run back in there.
All right.
Not to
You
block
guys
Shadow's way.
see a bunch of stones piled up on top of this bench now, and Silly's laying half in this room, half out of this room, and he is had his leg crushed pretty good, but he missed the bulk of it. Gale lays a healing hand on him, and Clangeddon heals you for 10 points. Silly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That hurt.
And you guys are all walking in. This table's been crushed. This bench has been crushed. This box is still
What do you mean when
still
you say
intact.
this? You're not. I don't see anything when you say.
Oh,
this.
sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Is it still
and then
locked,
this.
Warren? Is it still trapped? in the box?
Yes, the box is still locked, but the really tough trap has been disabled. So now it's got a 10% chance, but you guys are gonna have to move some rock out of the way.
All right. Let's move some rock. Like try
After
and-
moving the rock out, I'm going back to the other room.
Right, Gale's like, I'm chilling out over here.
move the rock. Go back over here. Where's Odie? He's with me, right?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
I don't know that I can move him.
Woohoo!
All right, Silly, you managed to snick open the box, and as you open it, inside is a very fancy looking gem encrusted egg.
Mm.
It's an egg. It looks beautiful. Come and
Don't
see.
eat it.
Don't eat it.
Don't eat it.
That would be an expensive omelet.
Now, is this a jewel that looks like an egg or an egg that has jewels embedded in it?
It is. You're not sure what the egg itself is made out of, but it has a number of jewels encrusted into it.
So it's obviously not a real egg.
Is there any writing on it?
Or
No writing on it.
a
Nope.
magic creature's egg? Who knows?
I'm doing an appraisal.
All right.
I don't know.
Take a look with the detect magic on it.
Does anybody have artistry or a saying of art?
I have
Works of art?
artistic ability. I don't know. Nah, that's probably just painting and shit. Yeah.
I thought one of you could appraise works of art.
I think that was Belgrakas.
Yeah, I've got it.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
You could take a look at it, Belgrakas, because it's
Yeah.
Belgrakas. You recognize this as a yeah, Belgrakas takes a look at it and deftly maneuvers, and he finds out what it is.
It's a puzzle. I don't know.
Perchance.
You see that, Belgrakas?
Let me see. Wow, this is a very rare egg. It's worth over 20,000 gold, probably about 21,000.
Woo!
Wow.
What type of egg is it?
Fabergé.
Did you say a Fabergé?
I don't know what that is.
He's definitely just bullshitting.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
That's what the GM sent me.
It's a Fabergé. It's a Fabergé egg. That means what is the actual color of the egg itself?
It's kind of a cream colored, and it's got emeralds, diamonds, rubies, sapphires encrusted into it, and then a bunch of little trails of silver and gold in little whirls and swirls.
Does the egg feel hollow, or is it like
Yes, it does.
so it doesn't feel like it has actually anything inside?
No, huh?
I'm gonna break it open. I'm just kidding. I'll just smash it to the floor thinking there's something inside. Oh well, wow! This is a nice find. All right. Belari's gonna go to the end of this hallway. What do I see over here?
All right, Belari, you come into this hallway and you hear a roaring fire, and light is coming from beyond into this area here.
Okay. I'm gonna activate my ring just in case,
All right.
and I'll step in.
Thank you,
All
Shadow.
right, Belari, you step in, and the rough walls are covered with drapes of delicate gray cloth, and your feet every so often sink sumptuously into thick carpeting as you see against the wall is a large bed covered in a spread of rich brocade. Beside it is a small night table on which rests an oil lamp and a heavy leather-bound book. A high wardrobe stands in the corner, and its doors are shut, and you smell a delicate scent that counteracts the complex odors elsewhere.
I'm still looking at that
Belari,
leather book.
all right, Belari, you can identify it smells like sandalwood.
Okay.
Let's see. This book seems to be a spell book.
Okay. Before I go any further, I'm going to have to memorize the right spells the next time around because I'm going to have to check to see if it's got any traps on it.
All right.
Hey, Belari's gonna check out the bed. Does it look like anybody has been in it recently?
No, the bed does not look like it's at anybody. It's made very neatly. And there's a wardrobe. There's a wardrobe over here.
Belari jumps on the bed.
All right. The bed is extremely soft, sumptuous, smells of sandalwood. This fire is burning the same way that one in the other level was burning.
Quick question. I had to step away for a second. Did we find anything after the gem encrusted egg? Said there was a spell book or something? I'm just trying to write everything down.
There was a leather-bound spell book, and it smells of sandalwood here.
Belgrakas, you want me to check that book for traps?
It's probably a magical trap. Do you have a way of determining that?
I think so.
I have detect magic.
Well, the book will register magic, but
That's true.
sometimes there's a way you can read magic to determine if there is a sepia snake sigil or a fire trap on the book.
Belari's gonna look under the bed. Is there anything under the bed?
Detect magic and read magic together may help.
No, there is nothing under the bed, Belari.
Okay.
Orth looks outside through the window.
All right. You're looking outside the window. It is basically it's pitch black outside, Orth. It's like looking into an inkwell.
similar to that magical darkness we had before.
Very similar, yes.
Gotcha.
All right, so Silli, you, what are you doing, Seto? And Gale?
Is this door locked?
Yes, that door is locked, and it's got a ward on it. Looks like it's wizard locked. Did you say you were trying to detect magic on the book? Is that
Gale's used detect magic, and he's just kind of looking around at everything. He did check the book when they mentioned that, though, about magical traps.
Oh, okay.
Come look down here and see if there's any magical stuff in any of this other area too.
Will do. I'm going to walk through the entire area. I can, because of my special stuff, I can use it at will. So,
Oh,
All right.
yeah, you should just leave that.
Belari, you're by a wardrobe.
Exactly.
It smells of sandalwood in here.
But I'm gonna step into the wardrobe and kind of look around.
All right. Gale's, you can sense a little bit of magic coming from the wardrobe. Belari, you see a number of wizard's robes in here, and
Ooh.
there's some boxes of basically accoutrements, like a couple of wrist bracelets made of pewter, nothing of really any value. Gale, you see that a pair of slippers on the upper shelf radiate magic.
Aha.
oh, I'll point those out.
Yeah,
All right.
I want to check.
We
I
got
wanna
magical
check for see if
slippers.
They're
Yeah, I wanna check
purple
to see if
velvet
it's
slippers.
But the robes aren't?
No, the robes do not radiate any magic. Only those slippers.
Warren, is it like costume jewelry?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Silly's just gonna start adorning him and Odie with all that costume jewelry.
All right. So you've got on just all, and it's all like mostly pewter. So you're like chilling out in pewter.
And
Yeah.
rings, I'm gonna put the rings like on the end of my horns, you know?
All right.
Slide them down the horns until they stop.
All right. So you've got all kinds of accoutrements on now that were possibly Iridian.
Yeah.
What were you doing, Belgrakas? You were looking through the book?
I'm going to put up a fire shield first,
All right.
and then I'm going to look through the book.
All right. You put up the fire shield and slowly reach over and flip open the cover of the book. This book looks like it had wards, but they weren't activated, which is strange, as if maybe the wizard was called away in mid-study or something. But
Okay.
it does have a number of spells in it.
Awesome.
Oh,
And I think you should be able to see it.
Iridian spellbook.
Oh, sweet.
If it has an
That is
illustration-
awesome.
Yeah, if it has an illustration, it must be cool.
Yeah. Can we put that under Belgrakas's character on the sheet?
You're welcome to do that. Yes, I'll take it off.
That's
from
some
party
nice looking
holding.
spells,
Yeah, some good spells.
What spells?
especially
how do
the
you know what
mansion.
spells are in?
It's on. Scroll down on the spellbook page that has the picture.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's going to be helpful.
Yeah, a lot of those are going to be helpful.
Yeah.
Wow, that's some good shit right there, man. Are
Yep.
you even like? Are you high enough level to cast some of this?
Not gate.
Yeah, it's a ninth level spell, isn't it?
Yeah, I think some of them disintegrate too. I think is a 6th level spell. I'm not high enough to cast it.
What about the Magnificent Mansion?
That's 7th. I'm not high enough for that either. Faithful Hound, I think. Thing. If I recall correctly.
Well, eventually
Yeah.
they'll be useful.
Yeah, these are going to eventually be very useful.
Oh man, this is a pretty goddamn good book.
Yeah.
The question is, where the hell is
He's
the
the wizard.
Right.
We haven't actually found the lab yet, so maybe it's beyond this door.
Yep. Let's keep
All right,
going.
Gale, that one is wizard locked.
I bet
I can't
those
open this door.
slippers. I'm gonna try something real. I can do something about that. Hold on. I think
Where's your character?
unless I already did it today. Nope. I cast knock on the door.
All right. Belgrakas, you cast knock on the door, and as you do so, the door flies open, and let's see here. What do you see?
I don't know, but this looks like a lab or whatever.
As you open the door,
Or an office.
you're suddenly in the middle of a war. Roll for initiative.
Ah!
Oh shit! I guess Belari stepped in after. I guess she's gonna have to too.
Oh wait, a war? Oh, that's perfect. This is Gale's place. That's a horrible initiative.
Oh fucking another abyssal bat.
For Christ's sake. All right, hold on a sec.
Where's Belgrakas? Where was your tokens not on the thing?
I'm the one that cast knock on the door, so it must be right there. Where's my token now? Let's see. So I need to somebody able to put my token out, or do I have to do that? Let's see.
Click your character sheet and drag it out.
There it is. Right here?
Sure.
Yep, there you go.
Go there or be over here. We got Seto here. Silli's down there. Okay.
Okay, so I'm clicking it, and then I'm going to initiative.
Belari, were you already incorporeal or were you?
I had gone incorporeal. I haven't really touched anything, so and I just kind of followed behind Gale.
Okay, I rolled. I'm in the turn order, but it's needs to be
shit.
reset.
While we find some.
Yeah.
A bat. We walked into a war zone.
Okay. Alright.
What's the abyssal bat's dexterity? Because
Is somebody actually in that room?
We don't know yet.
yeah,
Because
I guess like a
if the door swings open when I cast Wizard Lock, I'm gonna shut that thing. I go on a 2.
Oh, before anybody walks in.
Yeah, if I see the bat.
You don't hear anything, but you guys, well, once Gale went in, yeah, you could shut the door, Belgrakas. Then Belari and Gale are inside that room.
Well, I mean okay, so that's what I'm getting at. All right, so
Yeah, it wasn't until they walked in that all.
it wasn't until they walked in. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and I walked in immediately.
Got it. Okay, and that won't happen.
I'm standing right in front of you.
Do I see it?
You don't see anything. You just all of a sudden hear Gale shout as something happens to him.
All right, strength spell. Is this the same day? Do you have the strength spell up, Orth?
I don't think so.
I got like an 8 on that roll.
Hey, Mark, can you reorder the
I was an 1840 before.
Is that today?
I don't remember sleeping. I mean, we went through the whole last fight, but I was not there.
Yeah, it's a 10-hour spell, Warren. Is it still up on him?
Should be. I don't think you guys have rested, have you?
I don't think so.
I don't
Alright.
believe
Not for
so.
a little while.
Okay.
All right. So then, if that's the
Well,
case,
no, we did rest the day before. We rested on that first floor, remember?
After
A couple of
the
us played
bat,
chess and stuff like that.
After the
Yeah.
bat.
Oh, I can't remember on that. But yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was after.
after the bat.
Yeah, I slept
All
in
right.
the little pen.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Alright,
Then I'm
so yeah.
casting. Then I'm casting strength on Orth.
Orth, alright.
8. 5 strength.
Okay, so that gets me to 1810.
Alright, Gale. Orth bulks up behind you in the doorway as this horrific thing appears, flapping its wings in the air above you. And it's looks like it's raging itself, and all of a sudden it makes a symbol in front of you and launches it out. And you must make a saving throw versus rod, staff, or wand.
Good thing I'm a stubborn dwarf. So which one or all three?
It's the same thing.
Not that
Same
matters.
thing.
It's the same.
Yep.
It's the same save.
Cool. I saved.
All right. All right. So the symbol of pain lashes out from this thing, and it sees it has no effect, and then it is on you in a flurry of claws and beak and just biting. So it is going to attack. AC of 8.
Miss.
All right. AC of 1
Miss.
and AC of -5.
I wish it was a miss. That's a hit.
All right. That is your barbed tail. So that does damage for 4 damage, and make a save versus poison.
I pass.
All right. So then you only take, so you pass. Okay. So, all right. You take 3 poison damage there, Gale.
3 poison.
Yep. And let's see here. As you can feel it coursing through your veins there, Gale. Now this thing is going to fly up and above you. He is about 20 feet above you in the air. And now it is Belari's turn.
Belari, seeing an abyssal bat, yipes, and she rolls out of the room.
All right. All right, Belari.
That's it.
Orth,
That's,
you're up.
Did Orth see the thing fly up in the air?
You would have been able to see it fly out of your vision from your angle.
Can we see the rest of this room?
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, so Orth is going to come down here and hold his shield up and try and look at what's down this way.
All right.
Can I move in that direction?
Yeah, this thing is flying up above you. out of your reach, and you're out of its reach too.
How tall is this doorway?
That doorway is a 9-foot door.
So it would have to fly down to get to me.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna. What can I see the rest of this room too?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I'm just gonna be right in here, so that it can't straight attack me from above. It has to get down to my level.
All right. Silly, what are you gonna do?
All right, Warren. I wanna, from where I am, run over here, which is 6 of my movement, and then shoot a couple arrows at the creature.
You'll have to get to here because this is blocking you. This is a tall bookcase.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Unless you want to leap on top of the bookcase.
How tall is it?
That bookcase is an 8-foot bookcase.
You're halfway up to him.
Yeah, let me climb up there.
All right. You'll have
So
to
you
make a
want-
climb check.
Climb check? Okay. Alright, here we go.
So you rush in, basically go running up the bookcase, and now you're on top of it up here. You kick over some books, and
Fuck
now
these books.
you can see up in the top part of the room is this thing flapping its wings.
Okay, I'm gonna... Would I be able to make it if I were to jump at it with head first for it? Like if I gotta run off of this bookcase?
8 feet. You'd have to make a 12-foot vertical leap and about 15 feet forward. It might be a little out of your reach.
Okay, alright. If I don't think I can make it, I'm just gonna shoot arrows at him.
All right.
Okay.
So they knocks a couple arrows and fires at that thing. Oh yeah, that's a hit. And that is a miss. So your first arrow hits it right in the weird hole of its wings, and it screeches in pain and agony and looks at you.
Can I jump off with the rest of my movement and exit the room?
Yeah, you could.
Okay. Fuck you, Bat!
All right, Gale. You see this abyssal, horrid bat thing.
Get down here, you ugly creature, and I'm going to prepare to attack it as soon as I can reach it.
This thing is flying around, and you're not sure where it's going to go.
Yep, that's what I said, as soon as I can reach it.
All right.
I have
Seto,
any-
what are you doing?
I'm gonna step forward once and cast prayer.
All right. All right, everybody is under the prayer now. And this thing is under the prayer as well, right? That gives it a negative.
Yes.
All right.
And that's a +1 to hit, right?
Plus
And
one to
damage.
hit, yeah.
And
Yeah,
damage.
nice.
And saving throws.
Yep.
We really should see about actually combining that effect.
All right. This thing now is all right, 1 second here.
We noticed this body, Gale and I, anyway.
Yes.
If I have any held action left, I would yell out that there's a body down in here. Does it look wizardly?
Where is what I'm looking for here?
I might actually be able to bring him back, depending on how long he's been dead.
Well, presumably it hasn't been long.
One second. Sorry, I'm just gonna find this. Yeah, cool.
Assuming he wants to come back.
He's a wizard, greedy bastards.
Yeah, he probably
They
does.
always want to come back.
Yeah.
It's whether he's strong enough to come back.
10 yards per level. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. Seto's prayer. All right. New round, everybody. Roll for initiative.
Oh, that bat is fast.
Oh yeah, he's a fast.
Fast bat.
All right, this bat flies up, darts through this door, lifts himself up in this room, but this room is not very high. This is only about an 8-foot high room, so he's flying at the top. And he screams at Alleseto.
Oh,
He didn't like that prayer.
Oh no.
And
Oh,
Alleseto, you
shite.
have to make a saving throw versus spell.
all right. So I've got a stone, which is +2, and I've got my prayer, which is an additional +1. There we go.
Ooh, all right. It gnashes its teeth and swoops down at you and gives you his attacks. He is not happy about this prayer.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
All right. So the first one's claw, bite, and tail.
Miss, hit, and hit.
Ooh, double damage on the bite. So 6 damage on the bite. And make a save versus poison as the barbed tail stabs you, Alleseto, for 7. And save versus poison.
All right.
All right. So, Alleseto, you can feel the poison coursing to your veins, but you have a resistance to it. So, you take 2 damage, poison damage, Seto.
Yeah.
And Gale, you take your poison damage this round too. And that is the end of the bat's turn. All right, Belari, you're up. This bat just swooped down. Its wing is basically buffeting through your flesh.
All right, I am going to stab it with my +2 jeweled dagger,
All right.
since it's like right there.
All right.
Then I'm gonna tumble away,
Okay.
and then prayer gives us a plus what?
+1.
+1.
Ooh, critical. Dang. All right.
Oh, nice.
That is triple dice damage.
Nice.
There we go.
Dang.
All right, here we go. All right, triple dice damage. Of course, it's only a D4 plus 2, but whatever. All right, so just roll.
Damage.
Yeah,
Yep,
just
roll 3
that damage.
times.
All right. 1. Okay.
Oh, wow.
2.
Does the prayer
Yeah.
get added onto that?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I didn't add prayer. How much for prayer damage?
So
1.
Okay, so that's
14,
7,
18
14.
points.
Yeah, and then Belari's just gonna roll away. She'll
All right,
still tumble away, so
all
she
right,
doesn't
it's-
attack.
It screeches and its baleful yellow eyes look at you and moves to chase you.
All right, yeah, I tumble away. So do I need to roll a tumbling check?
Yes.
All right, and tumble off. I'm gonna run into this room.
All right.
Okay.
Belgrakas, you're up.
And I'm shutting
I'm
this
up.
door behind me. I'm shutting this
Okay.
door behind me.
All right. Belari
Do that.
slams the door behind her.
I cast blindness.
Now Orth is up. I'm on a 4.
Oh,
Orth goes
yep.
before me.
All right, Orth.
I'm gonna run up behind it and attack it. Are we getting
Okay.
any notices for it not looking my direction?
No, it's a very adept fighting creature.
All right. -9 and
Oh yes, that's a hit.
Oh,
-3.
Yes, those are both hits.
Oh, nice. Is it large?
No, it's medium.
All right. 12
Oh, 12 damage. All right.
and
It's got a torn wing now.
13.
All right. It's wailing and thrashing its teeth, but it looks determined to fight on. All right, Belgrakas.
He casts blindness on the bat.
All right. The
Oh wait,
blindness.
wait. I'm assuming that this bat can see.
Hey, go
Unlike
ahead,
a normal
give it a
bat.
try.
He casts it. He
All
has
right.
to negate. Saving throw negates.
All right. The bat looks at you with its as it hears you casting. It spins its head around, and your spell goes off, and it blinks its eyes a little bit, looks at you, and it opens its strange bat-like maw in almost a grin. And you have learned something interesting about this creature that you will hopefully journal later as if you live through this encounter.
That he sees magic. I think.
He doesn't seem to be blinded, and
Yeah,
he didn't seem to care at all.
Yeah. I am magic resist. I am going to run.
All right,
Over
you have a
here?
fire shield on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to run over here and open this door and close it behind me.
All right. So Gracchus scampers away. Silli, you're up.
So Warren, for me to like enter this room, open this door, and then have to open this door to sneak behind this creature to get back at to get a possible backstab on it, is that doable in this turn?
Let's see. Both
it?
those doors are closed.
His attention is already at Belgrakas, so his attention is away from
Yeah,
you.
but it's the fact that I have to open 2 doors to get to the creature. You know.
Yeah, you could do it if, well, it'll take a, all right, you'll have to make a move silently to get through this door and another one to get through that other door.
Facing this direction already. Now.
Oh, it looked over its shoulder. It turned its attention back at,
Okay. Can you use that opportunity?
I'll do it. 2 move silently, you said, Warren?
Yep.
Okay. My sheet would function.
Gale goes before Silli anyway.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Yeah, okay.
Gale?
Am I able to? Is it on the bottom or is it up a little bit?
No, you could reach it now. It descended to attack Alleseto. And this room is not very high anyways, so... Even though it's still flying in the air, you can attack its legs. Ooh,
Okay, so you have
missed.
4.
And, okay, Silli, you sneak off as Gale's attacking it. All right, Gale, your second attack.
Yeah, I
Oh,
missed
man,
both.
Gale's fudging the dice today. You rolled a 3
It's the
and a
poison.
4.
Ouch.
All right, Silly, that actually gets you through both doors.
Awesome.
Now you have to make a hide in shadows to see if you can leap out of the shadows and attack this thing.
Is Gale's turn done?
Yep,
Okay.
Yeah,
Gale
that's done.
whiffed twice. The poison has hurt his...
Alright, here we go. Shadows.
All right, Silly, you managed to get up behind it in a sneak attack roll, right as it dodged out of the way of Gale's club. You come right out from under Gale's armpit and try to backstab it.
I'm gonna activate the Diamond Assassin.
All right. Ooh, yes, that is a hit.
Okay, let me attack him with my daggers.
Yes, that's a hit. And that is a miss.
Okay, here is the horn damage first, the backstab. Swarm. No, it's not that one. It's this one. I'm sorry, guys. I have a lot of attack options on my sheet.
I know what it is. All right, Silly catches it from behind,
There it goes.
using his hooves to give him a jeez.
Jeez.
That's the first one.
All right, the abyssal bat falls over dead. Well, actually, he gets blasted in the corner, and his body melts away, leaving just a jet black skull.
Hmm.
The last one had left behind like a shrunken set of wings.
Wings.
This one leaves behind a jet black skull.
Is it dead?
Hey,
I think I killed it.
Is that the
Okay.
end of combat?
Belgrakas
Yes.
comes out.
Yes. Seto, you and Gale are feeling under the weather. You were able
Gale
to
feels better.
fight off the effects
Gale
of the poison.
neutralized poison. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gale, you are no longer poisoned.
I can do it to him as well. So
All right.
both of us are good.
Seto, you also feel the poison being neutralized in your bones, but it was a horrible rotting poison. But your constitutions were able to keep you from taking the brunt of it.
Thank you.
I added the skull to the player handout.
Okay. Heading in here.
hey, I wonder if we collect all the different body parts, we can like assemble like a new one.
So
He was ripped apart.
you instantly realize that this must be Iradian's lab. The air, it's pungent. A strange animal musk is blended with the reek of something unpleasantly burning. You see the guttering flame of the gas burner that kind of sets macabre shadows dancing on the stone walls. The burner rests on a marble-topped counter along one wall. In a stand over the burner is a flask coated on the inside with a brown residue of a liquid that is long since boiled away. You see standing in the far corner is a set of wooden shelves on which stand a number of glass vials. Next to the shelves is a tall metal cabinet like a cross between a wardrobe and a safe. Its iron doors are shut. You also see a table. Its marble top has grooves cut into it, leading to a drain at an end. Around the edge are attachments for straps, belts, and other means of restraint. You see one strap is buckled across the middle of a table, but the leather's been gnawed through and broken. And you also see another table that has arrayed on its spotless metal top a collection of medical instruments. And you notice the gray, crumpled shape of Aedan stuffed in between a bookcase.
Is he in one piece?
He is, although his eyes have been clawed out, and his tongue is missing.
Oh, God.
Well, shoot.
I guess there's no way to regenerate that, right?
Not that I can do right now. I might be able to bring him back still.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess he could.
Right.
I guess he could write still.
What's wrong with him? His tongue's not out. What else?
He lost his eyes and his tongue was ripped out.
All right, so he could still write.
You can still listen and nod.
Yeah.
All right. So I am going to sit down after pulling him out so he's not shoved in whatever it was he was shoved in.
All right.
I'm going to start casting Raise Dead.
1 second here. What's the effects of Raise Dead, and how long can the corpse be dead?
Okay, so it takes 1 round. When the priest casts a spell, he can restore life to dwarf, gnome, half-elf, or human, or any other creature may be allowed at the DM's option. The length of time that the person has been dead is of importance, as the priest can raise a person dead for only a limit of 1 day for each experience, so 9 days.
Oh, yeah.
Note that the body...
He's Alleseto, you can make a diagnostics to see how long he's been dead.
He's been dead for longer than 9 days.
Oh, yeah. Well, Alleseto, you can tell if you make a diagnostics.
All right, check it.
Does he have any can somebody detect magic?
Gale can do that.
Yes, I can.
See what he's got on him.
Belgrakas is going through his pockets. Gale's trying to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think he's too far gone, isn't he?
A few weeks.
Yeah, he's a little too far gone. I think there is still a way to bring him back, but that spell is just a little bit beyond my understanding. My god hasn't given it to me yet.
Is there a way to communicate with him?
You can speak with him, can't you?
I haven't actually looked that spell up before. Let me see.
Oh, wait a
Third
minute.
level.
Hey, look, there's a gem on him. And a ring. How about look at the gem? Does the gem look similar to the other gem?
No.
Is the gem on a ring?
No.
No, he has a gem and he has a ring. Looking inside
I'll
the
look
gem,
at the ring.
All right. The ring is it's a copper and gold kind of braided ring, and it's got some runes on it. Looks like it might be magical.
I'll read magic on the runes.
I can do speak with them.
Oh, okay. Let's take 5 minutes real quick, guys.
Okay.
All right.
So what does speak with dead entail?
I'm scrolling down to it. Give me a moment.
All right.
Oh, I've got detect magic. I know I used it. Never mind.
Yeah, I think Gale can just do that at will. Didn't you say that?
Yeah, I can do
Rob?
detect magic at will.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is actually pretty awesome. One of the joys of being my specialty priest.
Which is what?
It's the Allegor. It's
Cool.
a priest in Klingeddon.
What kit did you get that from?
Give me 1 second, I'll bring it up for you. It's actually from the Demi-Human Deities book.
Okay.
And what it is it's not exactly a kit, it's a specialty priest
I got you.
of this set god.
Yeah.
So at let's see here. At first level, I can cast command twice a day. At third level, I can cast spiritual hammer or rock burst once a day. Fifth
So
level, I
this
can
is
cast
in
strength
addition to
or
your
strength
kit?
of 1. Technically, this is my kit. Otherwise, I mean, I'm just a base cleric.
Yeah.
So I would assume this. I mean, it doesn't say kit, but it's a kit.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, so at 5th level, I can cast strength as well as strength of 1. So I can give myself great strength or give everybody the strength of 1. At 7th level, I can cast Axe Storm of Klingeddon or Defensive Harmony once a day. Let's see here. I can also attack 3 times over 2 rounds. At 10th level, which is the one I hit last time, I can cast Detect Magic at will. And then 13th level, that's when stuff gets really fun. I can inflict triple damage with a battle axe once a day.
We got to get you an awesome battle axe.
I was actually already talking to Warrant about getting my my staff converted into a battle axe.
Now putting like
Dedicated to my
an
god.
axe head on it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I thought that'd be pretty awesome. He says he thinks I can do it. I would just require the our special blacksmith here.
Oh yeah, the dude we have in the
Ordan.
yeah.
Yep, Bordan. And then at 15th level, I can cast Blade Barrier once a day.
Those fucking shoes are awesome.
Shoes are awesome. You did so much damage.
Fuck, man. If it was a crit, it gets ridiculous. It puts me in like triple digits.
All right.
It's the dark thing. Oh, never mind.
So the gem and the ring are both magical?
Yes.
I read magic on the thing.
All right. It looks like it is a. It doesn't give you what the exact ring is, but it looks like it is. You can tell that it's when they enchanted it. It's the runes of magic that are written on it. Basically, it looks like it points to protection, but it didn't seem to protect poor Aedan. You're also in his main library and study, and there's a number of books, but there are a few that stand out.
How about can we look at that gem first as I'm writing stuff down?
Yes. Did Belari look at that?
It is time to
I was
summon. It is time to summon the chest, so we can put all this stuff into the chest.
Sure.
I do look inside the gym to see if there's any writing in it, like the other gym.
All right. No, there isn't, Belari.
All right, I just toss it to someone.
It is a nice gem though, so you could.
I'll do a appraisal real quick.
All right.
See if I can. Nah, it's a little. Just right on the tip of my tongue.
Some kind of ring of protection, right?
Yes.
But we don't know.
I think this ring might be 400 gold pieces. I don't know.
The ring?
Should we shove him in the box?
Or the gem. The gem's only 400.
But you're not sure about that?
Seems rough neighborhood.
We can put him in the box. He's not alive.
Just a place to storm to bring him with us or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Will he fit?
Mm-hmm. It's a 10 by 10 by 10 room.
And he was already folded into the bookshelf.
Is he going to continue to rot in there, though?
Yes.
So, did you guys see the
But-
journal thing already?
Is
But
there
the priest
something you
can-
can do? Is there something you can
Yeah.
do to the corpse so it stops rotting?
There's a
10
spell
cubic-
called.
Is it 10 cubic
there's a
feet? Or
10.
Sorry.
Hold on. There's a spell called Preserve that the priest has. Anyway, go ahead, Orth.
is it 10 cubic feet or 10 feet cubed? Those are different things.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, Zangzost. There's a fiendish frog.
What did you say?
Did you guys read the journal thing?
Where's the journal thing?
Okay. Curses! I've doomed my research. Gods, what a fool was I, thinking to skirt the necessary research by pulling my minion through the damn plane of chaos. I now must figure a way to retrieve their shards. How to get them back from the guardians I embedded them with, though. I must find a way. The Black One, Zanzost, has locked himself or itself away in my laboratory. What manner of mischief that fiendish frog is cooking up, I can't imagine, but it won't be good. The other managed to bypass the tower's transport system and is mucking around with the summoning circle. Fool! It doesn't know what may be unleashed. I have to retrieve those shards from the Guardians. It's the only way I can hope to banish these to their home plane, or perhaps destroy them. It seemed simple enough. Rely on the simplicity of the plane of chaos to summon forth a being from the abyss without spending the time and research of the knowledge-creating circle's protection. Needed to interact directly with the plane. Little did I know that Dregadzel was not a Tenari when I called forth the name. How it learned to impersonate one is puzzling, but I underestimated the stark reality of Limbo. Limbo plays by no rules.
So the guardians are obviously these abyssal bats, and these things that keep coming that we find when they get destroyed are the relics, the remnants, the shards. Did he say that how many there were?
He did not, but it was. I mean, he named two other creatures. So we got the frog thing, and then the other one that was mucking around.
No, those are the ones that we have to send through the portal back using those shards. Is what it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Put that in the wallet.
We have to retrieve those shards from the Guardians. The Guardians
Are those skull thing shards?
I would imagine.
Or are they other creatures that were summoned?
You'll make one not now, but later.
So it doesn't give a number.
5 seconds.
No, it doesn't. But it did name one creature that was acting like a Tenari.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the frog, I think.
Okay, so let me take back.
Possibly, yeah.
There's another. Hold on.
I can't read this thing.
You got to. If you click on it,
I did open it up, but it's still too small to even open. Let me see.
Let me screenshot it. And
If you make it a
send
separate window.
Wait,
Oh, maybe if
when
I
you
make it
hover
a-
over it, when you hover it over,
Yeah.
there should be like a glass, or what you may call it, a magnifying glass symbol. You click on that, and it'll blow up.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
there's also the on the replenishment of magical items of wondrous power. specifically
Oh, I'm
Rob
interested in
sounds
that.
interested.
staffs and master
Yeah, we all are.
wand. And should the wizard have sufficiently cared for and minded such an item, and barring a careless apprentice discharging the last remnants of such an enchantment, he should indeed be able to replenish the magical energies of one such an item. Firstly, the wizard must make arrangements to host himself in seclusion, free from distraction, petty matters of the realm. The wizard shall be well rested and have sufficient presence of mind to prepare the sigils of magic upon his memory. The rites are taxing and will sap much of his fortitude from this wizard once the casting is complete. Secondly, make the preparations to cast an enchantment of Dalmer. What is how these pronounce that? Enchantment Dalmer.
Dwarmer.
Dwemer. Upon the item. The item has been enchanted already, but the wizard then lays upon the item his own sigil, as if fashioning his own key for the lock. Third, during the duration of the enchantment, usually a period of 24 hours, the wizard may cast all manner of magic into the item, depending on its varied abilities. Footnote number 2: a wizard may go about this a number of ways. There tales of wizards summoning elemental forces to fulfill a charging of a staff with fire properties, or heaven forbid, summoning an extraplanar being or raising up of the dead. Although Magi's staff is too personal item to ever regain a magical touch once its power has been spent, some other wands and staves also display this property. Wand of lightning perhaps will require magical bolt of lightning cast into it. Multi-pronged effect may require any number of invocations or evocations to affect a result. Fourth, the result of casting will become known to the wizard at the end of the enchantment period with an identity spell. Fifth, do not attempt to shortcut the process through the use of a prepared scroll or through another magical item. Disaster can occur, and more often than not, end result is a disintegrated artifact. Take time, conduct study, commit spells. Should success occur, take resources and ensure the last enchantment is not used. It's really just, yeah, how to.
Warrant, is this how to get around doing enchant an item?
Well, it
There,
seems like this is re-enchanting.
Yeah. So, like, we have that.
For example,
The staff.
you
of
can
fire.
at the bottom where Orth is, the language changes to magic, and it is the text of the spell enchant an item. So he had
that's
jotted down the enchant an item spell in here.
No, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is that something he can just, Belgrakas can add to his spellbook directly from this?
He'd have to be at the right level and be able to scribe it, but he has this. This is the language of magic, and the spell is written there.
Oh, this is wonderful. It'll be very helpful for all of us.
Yes. Is this something that you can cast?
Not yet. Very shortly.
All right.
I feel my mind expanding as I speak.
So you would be able to like cast, just like make Silli's horns magical?
Yep.
Awesome.
Okay, and it's on the praxis of whatever that word is. Meta replication and the application thereof. During my studies, I have come across some of the old texts speaking of great and powerful beings able to establish a permanent loop of sorts, seeking to use the schools of alteration, conjuration, and the forbidden art of necromancy. I've sought to establish a theorem of sorts to explain that this constructed spell chain may look like what this constructed spell chain may look like, and how to erect such a construct. I found this information in the most foul of places, a diary of a conscript of the evil deity Neural, in some of Vecna's own writings before he went totally insane, and have found some of the sigils in the crude markings of the shamans of Vaprak. Other notes have been found as well in my dealings with wizards across the realm, but none to such depth of insight as the evil ones. First, One must choose a subject for replication. This subject can neither be too intelligent and none too wise, else the effect may induce madness. Footnote 1.
Roll.
Alterations to lessen mental trauma. And second, the subject must have a sufficient physiology to endure the effects of the replication itself, a seemingly unpleasant process. Third, the entire process should be encased in a hexameron or magic bottle. Reference force fields, enclosures, and other abjuration errata. The spells utilized for such condition are as follows: Death Recall, Corpse Link, Locate Remains, Death Pact, Permanence, Limited Wish, Intensify Summoning, Trap the Soul, Monster Summoning, per the strength of the desired replicant.
So this is how to make the troll generator.
Yeah. And the whole thing has
What was the one that did that?
and the whole thing has to be encased in a hexameron. So that is a hexameron that's around it.
Aha.
Okay.
I have figured out the order of such manner by which to combine these into a successful meta-replicant chamber. However, these rumors of there are rumors of those who established such a chamber and have used it for their foul ends. It seems, however, that given a population linked, it cannot replicate beyond the initial number of summoned subjects. Huh. But this thing seems to be constantly summoning them, doesn't it?
No, it's replacing the ones that we killed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, every time one dies, it just makes a new one. So there's no point in killing him.
So out of character, it's an XP farmer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we just have to be very thorough with them, you know?
So, how many total trolls do we think there are?
Say that again.
Like, how
50,
many
100?
total troll? Like, how many do we think they are? Like, how many? Like, are there like 50 of them, 100 of them?
Well, we killed a decent number, and we watched as they came back, like a dozen or so. And then, how many have we seen at that center tower?
Oh, there was like a
That's the
small
question
army
for
there,
you.
right?
Yeah, it was a small army.
Yeah.
That's a question to the DM.
I don't know if you've ever been able to count them, but there was,
Just an idea.
maybe tens of trolls, multiples of
Gotcha.
tens
So
of
between
trolls.
10 and 100 ish. Either way, there's a lot. There's more than we can probably handle if we had to face them all at once.
Yeah.
Or it'd be one hell of a fight. It might be worth it.
But we need to deal with the hexameron.
So does this say how we deal with that?
Oh, that hexameron. Yeah.
I know the previous one, there was a mention of like calling to a different deity from one of the other pages. In the hexameron page, there was something about a priest maybe being able to call on a deity, or if we summon one of those other two creatures, which I think were holy ones.
Yeah.
And it would have a counter effect or something, or a different effect.
May indeed affect a wholly different sort of anti-magical effect. So maybe you could do the same rites, but calling.
At the very least, I can call to my god, and maybe he could help with a way to project myself to get in there, and then we can figure something out.
Yep.
And listen, if push comes to shove, I mean, what if we just somehow bury the whole thing?
Buried what?
Trolls can dip.
Bury
No.
the troll thing. I mean, if it's buried,
We have
how
to
would
know
the trolls even get out?
We have to know. Wait, did you read the last sentence?
Oh, no, I didn't.
An outlet is the final planning piece. Prisoners are guarded from external threats within the hexameron, but to step into the portal will teleport them to the place of the creator's desire. So every time they came out, they went through some door and then they were gone. We have to
That's
figure
right.
out where they're going. We don't care where
Or
they
think something might be the center tower or out into the woods or something.
Right.
Yeah. Warrant, I just wanted a point of clarification. On the enchanting excerpt,
Yes.
it has the enchanting item spell, but does it also set forth a means of re-enchanting an object without having to cast that spell? Is that what it's saying?
Let's see here.
I don't think so. Because secondly, make the preparations and cast an enchantment downer upon the item.
Right. Yeah, you'll have to
Okay.
cast that spell.
Okay. I just wanted that clarity because I asked the question earlier, but I don't think I asked it clearly, and then we moved on to something else, and I think there was some confusion.
Yep, you'll have to, that kind of quicken, or I think that lays the foundation for the rest of the spells to be laid upon it. And I think that imprints the wizard's own magic by him casting the enchanted item spell on it.
But why not just enchant a stick from the woods then? If
You could do that too. That's the different.
Well, the difference is you usually, in order re-enchanting an item is much better generally because you don't have to go through the process of finding, that rare stick or that rare whatever it is that you need to go find in order to accept the enchantment. It's already something that's already deemed to have accepted the enchantment.
Yeah, creating magical items is a bit more of an effort than recharging.
Yeah.
This one, it looks like you basically just get ready, get yourself in a study, memorize some spells, enchant it, and then cast the spells on it. Whereas if you're creating a magical item from scratch, you might have to grow a tree just so you can harvest the heartwood.
Right.
It'll take you a while, right?
Right.
You can't just enchant any old item.
Right. But Satyr's horns may be special.
True. Yeah, there's always ways as the wizard gains in power as they want to start making magical items. That always leads to its own quests and.
Right.
Okay, I am going to suggest that we rest here for the night and see what else is in any of these books. See if there's enough books in this library, first of all, to constitute a wizard's library from which you can glean, spells and do research for enchanting items and stuff like that. So basically 10,000 gold pieces worth of books. Same with the laboratory.
Yeah, this library is enough to be considered a wizard's library.
Okay. Might I suggest to everyone then we figure out how we keep this thing? Because if we're able to keep this, then it's going to be a lot less expensive for all of us, for Belgrakas, for me, I should say, because I'm talking to the party, to enchant, recharge magical items, do spell research. Same with Smyddwack when he returns. We're going to be able to be much more efficient in what we're doing for you guys and not have to spend as much gold. All this here is worth about 20,000 gold pieces at the very least that we would have to somehow spend and come up with in order to get on our own. On top of that, it gives us further resources from which to research and not have to spend as much money.
Uh-huh.
How much? Liz, let me ask you. I mean, is this something that we could come back to later
Well,
because
well, hold on. There is no because. We have to clear this thing because we've got to get rid of the plague demon, and that means we have to send it back through this circle or kill it. And we also need to figure out. We need to stay here long enough so I can figure out this hexameron, so we can go back to Greyhawk and deal with the hexameron there. So we have stuff we've got to do here now. The whole reason we're here. Am I wrong about that?
No.
No,
What do,
seems
we do
right.
what do we do about the plague? Again,
So we need to find the demon. I think I can scry it through the mirror. And now that I've brought the chest back, I can do the magic mirror spell, but I'm going to have to do that tomorrow.
but if
As
we-
well
if
as
we-
identify all these items.
Now listen, what can we do with the demon's true name? Is there any way you could just simply summon the
I need-
demon back here?
So great idea, Belari. I think I need to look at what the materials are here to see where he found this creature from, and if the true name is written somewhere.
Oh,
I need to
thought it was-
link. I need to link up the journal entries to whatever other research is here to see if it's a Maladeus or if it's something else. Because if it's a Maladeus, chances are that word on that gem is his true name. But I need to cross-reference that with other materials here.
what do we have to do to speak with dead?
We should
Cast the
do
spell.
that as soon as we can. Cast the spell. Yeah. Priest spell.
Say what we need. We can question him for one turn, and I can ask him 4 questions.
What is the
Okay.
demon's true name? That's question number one.
What is the
Somebody write it.
frog-like demon's true name? Write down the frog-like demon's true name. No, he can't write it down, can he? He can speak it because
No,
it's his
he can-
shade.
Yeah, he doesn't need a tongue to speak from dead, right?
So say pronounce and spell the frog demon's true name that you summoned.
What did you guys say about that journal that I pointed out to you?
Which one?
Because remember, he did try to summon a Tanari, and it turned out to not be a Tanari. It was something pretending to be a Tanari.
Right, but it wasn't explicitly said that that was also the same exact thing.
Right.
We don't know if that was the frog thing or not. It could be.
Well, there was a name in it. His name was
Okay. Here.
Dregadezel or whatever.
The black one, Zanzost, has locked
Is that-
himself away into my
is that-
laboratory.
Is
What
that
name?
the same? Is that the same name as is on the gem?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, there's Zanzost or whatever, which is the frog thing, and then there's the other one which was pretending to be a Tanari somehow, named
Okay.
Dregadezel.
So ask him, what are the true names of the 2 creatures you summoned other than the guardians?
Aren't these the 2 names? Zanzost and Dregadezel?
But don't we want to know for sure that those are the true names?
Yeah, you do want to know for sure, right?
Because they may just be a name by which they go. A true name holds. So Belgrakas explains that a true name holds particular power, and most people don't go around wielding the name willy-nilly like in a journal, for example. This guy may. It's dangerous for the wizard to be writing and saying the true name over and over again. So, generally speaking, you don't want to have it in too many places.
Right.
This
You don't want to
very
say
well could be the true name,
You don't
but
want to say
we
it.
need to be sure.
Oh, either way, we'll ask. Let's move on.
Okay.
What they are might be a good question.
How do we? I think a better question would be, how is it best to kill them? How is the best way to kill them? And what do we need to send them back through the portal?
Once you speak with dead, can you do it again? or is it is it a one-time thing?
Give me 1 second. Let me get back to.
And I've got a fourth question dealing with the hexameron.
Can you type it for me?
Yeah.
Okay, speak with dead. Let's see here. For me, the maximum length that it could be dead is 1 year. Questioning time is 1 turn, 4 questions. Upon casting the Speak with Dead spell, the priest is able to ask several questions of the dead creature in a set period of time and receive answers according to the knowledge of the creature. Of course, the priest must be able to converse in the language that the dead creature used. The number of questions that can be answered and the length of spell. Even if the casting is successful, such creatures are as evasive as possible when questioned. The dead tend to give extremely brief and limited answers, often cryptic, and to take questions literally. Furthermore, their knowledge is often limited to what they knew in life. A dead creature of different alignment or of a higher level or hit dice from the caster level receives a saving throw or spell. A dead creature that successfully saves can refuse to answer questions, ending the spell. At the DM's option, the casting of the spell on the given creature might be restricted to once a week. The priest needs a holy symbol and burning incense in order to cast the spell upon the body, remains, or a portion thereof. The remains are not expended. The spell does not function underwater. So I can cast it over and over again as needed.
Okay. So let's get the first 4 questions asked now. Was there only 3 that you?
We want the true names of the 2 demons. What are the true names of 2 beings you summoned? Use
How about we be very specific? What is the true name of Zanzos, the fiendish frog? Question number 1. Question number 2. What is the
how do I spell Zanzost?
XANXOST?
Is that the what frog?
That is the fiendish frog from his notes.
And then the other one is Dregadzel, Dregadel, that was pretending to be a Tenari.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
If the creature in life it gets a saving throw, Gale.
What,
If
I
it's
need
higher
that.
level,
I need that name again. I'm spelling. Writing out these
DREG.
questions. DERG.
No, DREG.
Okay.
ADZEL.
What is the true name of the creature who pretended to be a Tenari? Okay. How many shards are required to send them back from where they came? So that'll tell us how many abyssal bats there are. What else is required to send them back from where they came? That's 4. So you're going to do multiple castings, right?
Well, do you have to wait?
Wait for what?
How many questions do you get?
4 questions.
And then you
And
have
how
to wait.
long do you have to wait
Wait for what?
in
Casting.
between castings?
It's a powerful spell, so I can only do it once or twice a day.
Okay.
How many times can you do it right now?
Once, because I tried to raise dead and it didn't work.
Nice. So let's do it once right now. See what we learn.
I'm finishing this.
For
Fucking everywhere. It was one of those big.
oh no,
It was one of
like
those.
Chick-fil-A cups.
yeah. Well, it was
Oh no.
a Sonic 44-ounce foam cup, right? And I'm drinking my diet ginger ale from it. And I just tilted it, and it's such a heavy cup that my thumb just went right into it and fucking broke a hole. It just started. It was a deluge right in my office.
Sounds like you failed your eating and drinking role.
Yeah. It was a 20.
No, there's two. There's a guy right here.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cast Speak with Dead, and we're going to ask the first 4 questions.
You saw what I told you, right, Gale?
About
So if Aedan, if he makes the save, he can choose not to answer the questions, or he will not answer the questions.
Then he
I'm
won't
assuming,
answer them.
Yeah.
Presumably, he
Be-
might want to answer the questions either way.
not necessarily. As a dead creature, they don't give a shit anymore.
Oh,
I'm trying to compel him to give me answers, and even if it would have been in his best interest, he doesn't care.
okay.
What did you do, Alleseto?
So if
I just healed myself for a little bit.
Okay.
That's all.
I think, if I go ahead and if I use a spell on him, and if it works, then it'll be a month before I can do it again. So where exactly is the summoning circle?
It's a big star.
The one he broke, right?
Well, because one of them was messing with the summoning circle.
Mm-hmm. Presumably, it's the big star.
Oh.
So are there 2 creatures on our plane we have to worry about?
It looks like it. The fiendish frog and then whatever the other one is.
Maybe they're working together.
Yeah, Alleseto, are you able to speak with Dead as well?
Yeah, it's just a level 3rd divination, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, so
I
it
know
says
for a
level,
It's a
it's a
spell
level
for
3
me.
divination spell. Speak with them. I'm looking at it now.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
I'd be able to cast that if we wait till the next day.
I gotcha.
I don't have any spell slots for that right now.
All right.
No,
Well, try
so
Gale.
we can go ahead and try it right now anyway, and go ahead and do with the first 4 questions, or which ones do we want to ask first?
Yeah, those first 4 seem reasonable. Yeah.
All right, Gale. You'll make the attempt through the power of your god. However, this is a wizened and crusty old wizard, and he gets to roll a saving throw. So he needs to roll a. If he rolls below a 6, he fails his save, and he's compelled. If he rolls above a 6, he's not compelled.
Silly's
This is gonna
questions
suck.
would be like, what was your favorite drink?
You tell me when you're ready for me to roll.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
All right. So today's attempt with Gale. Oh,
Oh,
Oh, all right. So, Gale, you call forth, and the apparition comes. The phantasm comes out, kicking and screaming and fighting against your will. But Clondegan's strength is too strong, and the apparition appears in front of you, and you can see him struggling against you and pulling. But you yank the ephemeral chains that are linked around his arms and legs like Bob Marley from the Scrooge Christmas Carol. And now you may
Reggae.
ask him his first question.
Bob Marley was the reggae guy.
What is the
Oh,
true name?
yeah.
Zanzos the Fiendish Frog.
He looks over at you. Zanzos the Frog. And he speaks with this old and kind of weak voice. Zanzos is his true name. And he kind of cackles and laughs.
Okay.
How many shards are required to send them back where they came from?
Oh, to send them back where they came from. Oh, the shards are numerous. Anytime you wish to send them back, you'll need the shard.
That was not an answer.
Sort of was.
Yeah, he said the shard, so that's only one.
Now
What
remember,
else
word
is
your
required to
question
send them
very
back?
carefully.
Yeah, exactly.
Which them are you referring to? Well, he doesn't ask that. He gives you the finger, basically.
Yeah, he kind of did. I didn't word that one very well. What else is required to send Zanzost and Dregedzel back to where they came from?
Oh, to send those fiendish things back to where they came from. Why would you do so? Take the shard and best them in combat. Kill them.
What is the most efficient way to kill both of them?
Be in possession of their shards. Then unleash the power of all of your might. And he looks at you. You puny holy man. You're very lucky you impelled me to speak. He looks over at Orth and the rest of you. All of you puny weaklings, not knowing the true pinnacle of my power. Yes, yes. In fact, I implore you, please, seek them out. Take their shards and face them head on. It will be good sport.
And with that, the spell goes away.
The apparition breaks the chains and dives back into the corpse body.
Are we preserving this body and keeping it so that we could resurrect it at some point?
Either resurrect it or get more information out of it later.
Yeah.
Level is that spell that you were talking about?
What spell is
this
that?
to preserve bodies.
Preserve.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know what level he said, but
Embalm or something like that?
I'm looking right now.
Presumably.
Yeah, this wizard is pure evil.
Is he?
Yes, he is definitely pure evil.
Embalm's a second level spell, I think. Necromancy, right?
So maybe we don't want to.
maybe bring him back and
I
have him,
don't see it just looking in the spell list.
have him go to some sort of prison or jail.
Second level spell. Embalm spell allows the caster to protect the corpse against natural forces of decay. I think it's a wizard spell, though.
Yeah, it must be.
I don't think it's.
If the wizard was truly evil, then I doubt he's in paradise right now.
I don't know if he was pure evil
Yeah,
before
second level
this,
wizard
but
spell.
being dead is not has not been good for him.
He's dead and not loving it.
Yeah, but he could be alive and not loving it for the duration of his life, and then be dead and
But
not
what-
loving it for the eternity. You know.
But
Yeah, I just
but
don't
what
know
kind
enough
of
for him.
resources? But what kind of resources would go into a true resurrection, and why would we want to do that?
I wouldn't need to.
I mean, there's no.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
got to
snap
be
your fingers
super.
and he's
It's got to
true.
be super expensive.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of sounds like a lot of effort to bring back somebody we don't want alive.
But the powers and the city of Greyhawk may want to. Right? It's not
Yeah,
just
that is possible. They might.
I
If
think
we
they'll just be satisfied with not being overrun by a plague.
sure.
Besides, a live evil wizard, there's always a possibility that they could figure out a way to escape.
At the very least, though, they can keep on questioning him. They have higher level wizards and priests.
Oh.
Yep.
Sure, if you guys want to turn over the body, that's fine. But doing anything ourselves, I think that we leave it up to them to decide what they want to do.
Well, yeah, there's nothing we can do right now, except for attempt to ask him questions, and I can't force him to speak for a month.
Do we know what when he says shards? Do we know what those are?
Are these?
I think these
What
are
are
the
these-
shards. Like,
The red one that Silli unlocked in the box is one of the shards that has one of the creatures' names. And it's,
Didn't he say that he was embedding them in creatures? That wasn't embedded in a creature. That was in a safe.
Yeah, that red crystal said Mollydius, and then
Then again, it does have a different name in that one, so maybe he hasn't summoned that one yet and put it into a guardian.
that one is the plague creature.
what do you mean?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
No, it's a different name.
It's a completely different name from the other two that he has in his journal.
Oh shit. So that one's unsummoned?
It's either
That's-
unsummoned or
Well, that's my thought, because he said that he was putting the shards into the guardians in his journal. And that one wasn't inside of a guardian; it was in the safe.
is that a normal procedure for summoning creatures, having to have some sort of shard to insert into them? What
I
would
have
be the
no idea.
purpose? A means of control, maybe?
the shard can't be inside the demon because he specifically said get the shards and defeat the demon.
I didn't say in those demons. He was putting them in different creatures, known as the guardians. We thought maybe those bats were the guardians or something, but
Right, but
we haven't seen anything like that from them.
Where did you get that from?
Which part?
That he put
But,
the Zanzos shards in a guardian.
Give me 1 second here. Okay, here we are.
to
So from
retrieve-
his journal, what manner of mischief that fiendish frog is cooking up, I cannot imagine, but it won't be good. The other managed to bypass the turn. I have to retrieve. Here we go. What fool was I, thinking to skirt the necessary research by pulling my minion through the damn plane of chaos? I now must figure out a way to retrieve their shards. Now, how to get them back from the guardians I embedded them in, or embedded them with, though, I must find a way. The black one, Zanzos, has locked himself or itself away in my lab. What manner of mischief that fiendish frog is cooking up, I cannot imagine, but it won't be good.
okay,
The
stop.
other-
He said embedded with, not embedded in. And embedded with means just being in the same room.
Okay, so that red one still wasn't with. It wasn't even in the same room.
retrieve those shards from the guardians. If the guardians are the abyss bats, then we have the shards.
What-
What did you get that from? That he put the Zanzos shards in a guardian.
What-
The guardians are the abyss bats, then we have the shards.
Did we
But if
get
you
any
really
shards
have to
from
look-
them? We got their skulls that were
Yeah,
left
'cause
behind.
the only thing that was left was there was some black wings and a skull on one and a black skull on the other.
Yeah. So could those be the shards?
They could.
That,
It doesn't say what the shards are.
I mean, here's the thing. It's like, how many goddamn shards can there be? It's like, I think that it would be a healthy assumption to assume that these are the shards.
It's healthy right up to the point where you realize that at the wrong
It's not.
moment it's not the right shard.
In which case, you're dead.
How about this? Augury. Use augury.
I could
Okay.
ask the sword again tomorrow too.
Yes.
Yeah, I can ask my god,
use-
do you have something to sacrifice that is valuable enough?
Okay.
Augury does cost.
How much does it cost?
Let me ask the sword
it up
first, and then we'll find out.
There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and camp so you guys can get your spells back, and then we can actually do something instead of talking about it.
Can we preserve this body and put him in the chest? Or do we
The
have to
wizard
wait?
spell.
Belgrakas,
I could turn him to stone, maybe, or embody him in stone or something. But that's about it.
He's still going to decay, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we need to. Is that something you can do?
Who?
You preserve him.
I can't preserve him.
You know, I might be able to atone him or force him to atonement if he was compelled to do bad things.
What does that mean?
It wouldn't matter in this situation.
Well, we could put the dead body of Verity in the chest anyway, and if he's just going to continue to decay in there, it might get gross.
Wrap his body up then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it might attract something to the chest.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't want to risk that.
good point. Okay, well, let's think about.
So we do have divination. This might be something that could help. So for divination, a divination spell is used to garner a useful piece of advice concerning a specific goal, event, or activity that will occur within a week. Unlike the augury spell, this gives a specific piece of advice. The material component, such as, for example, will we do well if we venture to the 3rd level? And a terrible troll guarding 10,000 GP and a shield +1 lurks at the entrance. The DM estimates the party could beat the troll after a hard fight. The divination response might be ready oil and open flame light your way to wealth. The material components of divination is a sacrificial offering, incense, and the holy symbol of the priest. If an unusually important divination is attempted, sacrifice of a particularly valuable gem, jewelry, or magical item may be required. Let me find augury here. Well, augury just says if something's a good idea or not.
Well, we can assume. Would it be safe to assume that these are the shards?
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
And then it'll be like, it is safe to assume so. Yes.
Good point. I can ask the sword in the morning too.
There we go.
We should be able to get a generally positive or generally.
Augury. Okay. Material components for an augury is a set of gem inlaid sticks, dragon bones, or similar tokens of at least 1,000 GP value, which are not expended in the casting. The priest casting an augury spell seeks to divine whether an action in an immediate future within half an hour will benefit or harm the party. For example, If the party is considering the destruction of a weird seal that closes a portal, an augury spell can be used to find if weal or woe will be the immediate result. The base chance for receiving a meaningful reply is 70% plus 1% per each level. So in my case, okay, plus 1% for each level of the priest casting, so it'd be 79% on whether it's correct or not.
So you just have to have something on you that's worth that you can cast the augury spell with, but you don't. It doesn't get expended, so
I found a couple scrolls.
Yeah.
oh, you found
Oh, what are the scrolls?
Embalm and Gate.
Oh, there you go.
there's an embalm scroll.
Yeah,
What level is that? And is it priest or wizard?
I think it's
That's
wizard.
a wizard spell.
I think it's 3rd level. At least 2nd or 3rd.
Well, I could learn the spell and then cast it on him.
and
let's do
Gate
that.
is Gate like the Gate like from 5e? Is that the Big Daddy spell from like 9th level or is it lower?
That's a big dad. It's a big daddy spell.
Yeah. Okay.
And doesn't Gate like age you or something? Like I remember reading Gate, and it was a pretty hefty price.
I don't know.
Well, with Gate, you have to have all the right material components too. You need a summoning circle and all the rest of it, and then you need a
Gate the
trinity.
9-level wizard spell.
In later editions, I think they nerfed it. You didn't need all that stuff, but you do in second.
I think you can like pretty much pull a god if they're willing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a portal between planes, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's plane shift, really.
It
Yeah,
ages the
okay.
wizard 5 years. Yes.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
Hey,
Although
you go.
cast from a scroll, I don't know if it has the same effect.
They do not. When you cast from a scroll, it does not. The wizard that penned the scroll takes the.
It doesn't hit you very
Right,
much if you're
okay.
an elf.
So there is a Gate scroll there that Silli found. Snooping around, finding things to drink.
The gate scroll.
Interesting.
Embalm scroll.
Okay, I'll put that on Belgrakas' sheet.
You want to put both of them on there?
Both of those spells, yeah.
All right.
You have a spell that can force creatures back to their plane, though, of existence.
That would be good.
Dismiss or something like that.
Yeah,
No, abjure.
dismiss.
Or
That's a good
abjure,
one.
yes. All right. So, did you guys kind of figure out a game plan? You said you wanted to camp.
We want to embalm and camp,
All right.
or camp and then embalm, or
Belgrakas, do you want to write this spell into your spell book and then cast it, or do you want to just use the scroll?
No, I want to learn it and write it into my spell book so that we can do this again if we ever need to.
You guys go around a traveling embalming troupe.
oh, it's not a bad spell.
Well, I mean, we've got a bunch of bodies already buried in stone.
Yeah.
Did you make your learn attempt, Belgrakas?
I haven't yet, no.
All right. Go ahead. Give that an attempt here.
Okay.
So yeah, abjure. The spell can send an extraplanar creature back to its own plane of existence. It fails against entities of demigod status or greater, but their servants or minions can be abjured. If the creature has a specific proper name, it must be known and used. Any magic resistance of the subject must be overcome if the spell fails. The
Oh,
priest
okay,
has a
so that gives you a
50% chance of
5% bonus,
success.
I think, right, Belgrakas?
Yeah, 5%.
On a roll of 11 or better, the roll is adjusted by the differences in level or hit die between the caster and the creature. The number needed decreases if the priest has more hit die and increased if the creature has more hit die. The spell is successful. The
Ooh,
creature is
okay.
instantly rolled back to its own plane.
All right.
The
That
effect
gave me what I needed, Belgrakas here, because camping night. So everybody remember we're camping. This is a good jumping off point.
Uh,
Go ahead and put everybody's health back up to max, because I can burn the rest of my healing spells.
Let's see, Belari, you. That. Silly, you. Oh, you set off those traps, didn't you?
22,000.
Whoops.
Yeah, 2 failures and 2 successes.
But you also had a backstab success.
Yeah.
So, let's see here.
This is going to prove to be interesting.
Do you have time to identify the slippers before
Okay.
we call it?
Yeah, it would be the next day, but yeah, the ring and the slippers and
Gem.
the gem and the other magical things. What else was there?
Gale got lands here. Well, you did succeed at that. So, Alleseto, you did that plus the stone. Alleseto, oh yeah, you're a fighter or cleric, so that's divided by 2. And we get everybody? Belari, Belgrakas, Belari, Silli, Odie, Orth, Gale, Alleseto.
Yep, I got mine. So
Yay. Only 170 something thousand more to go.
I leveled.
Hey,
That's
Awesome.
Yeah,
You're a 9th level wizard now or a 10th?
11th.
11th. Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
So you
What
get,
level's Gale?
He's level 10 now.
Okay. So Belgrakas is level 11. Gale is level 10. What's level Belari?
10th level.
4?
what level am I?
Yeah.
I'm 9th.
Oh, okay. You got to be close to 10.
It's I got to get 500,000. So I'm
Oh, is it 500,000 to 10th for you?
yeah, 9th to 10th is 250K.
Oh, okay.
But why don't you have that? If I've got what I've got, did you miss some sessions?
I missed one. I'm at 39 or 390 right now.
Wow.
Now, keep in
3.
mind, there's different.
Oh yeah, you have more XP than me still. You don't need 500,000. You need 500,000 XP to get to 10th level.
Total. 500,000 total, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm nowhere near that.
Silly's level 11.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm considering buying that book so I don't have to keep on worrying about things, but shit, that book is $90.
What book?
The Demi-Human and Deities.
Oh, the actual live book, yeah. You can get it on. You can get it on Drive Through RPG for like $5.
But that
I'm-
might be one of the books that you can get print on demand.
Oh yeah, there's some of those. I have the Greyhawk book print on demand, and I got that one.
Yeah, you
Take a
don't
look on that one.
Yeah, you don't like a lot of these books is like they're reprints. You don't need to go out and buy like the originals. You can just buy
4
them.
hit points.
I always wondered why fighters needed so much XP to get to level 10. You need double what a mage needs.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy,
really?
isn't it?
Yeah, fighters need double what a mage needs to get to level 10, even though a mage at level 10 can cast some pretty hefty spells.
Did you see that hit point roll?
Yeah,
Pretty sweet.
clerics and fighters need about the same almost to get to level 10. And thieves go up pretty quick, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. It's up until like level 12, it gets a little ridiculous, but
Yeah.
not too bad. It goes from like 22,000 to
11
like-
to 12, you have to double
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, it's like 22,000 to like 66,000.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think my saves just went down. I think pretty much I don't get a new spell level, so I still don't have enchant item. But
You
I get more
another fourth
more
level
spells.
slot.
I think I get third, fourth, and fifth.
Oh, great.
I kind of want to try playing a druid sometime. I mean, shit, I'd be like, what was it? Almost 13th level.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to fight for your levels.
Then
Not
yeah,
automatic.
then you'd have to you have to get in the druid hierarchy then.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Quite interesting. And then fight for my land.
Yep. Unless you're a Dark Sun druid, then you just have a guarded land and then become friends with the guardian of the land.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Well, we'll wake up from camping at the next one, and you guys can put some brain power into figuring out what you want to do.
Yeah, we're playing next week, right?
Next week we should play. It'll probably be a later one like this today was.
Okay.
Just because I'll be
All right, guys.
traveling
I'll talk to
the
you
day,
guys
so.
later.
All right. I'll catch
Okay.
you
See you later.
next one.
See you, everybody. Thanks.
Hey,
a lot.
have a
See
good
ya.
one. Hey, you guys have a good one.